And we're live.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's been a long week.
Ooh, I just am fresh off of an episode 12 rewatch. So
I was gonna say you still have the wedding lights and decorations up.
of course. Can't bring myself to take them down quite yet.
You're fresh off that. I'm fresh off a 2-hour nap, so should be good to go.
Cheers. You're doing it right. What about you, Joe?
No, I'm fresh off having a piece of pizza and cracking open a bottle of beer.
Look at you guys. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
I think I'm just sticking to water tonight, but
Good for you.
I figured vaccinations and beer maybe don't mix those two.
All right, you got vaccinated today, right?
Like 3 hours ago. Yeah. So far, so good. So far, so good.
Could be a long night for you.
It could be. It's already been a long night for me.
Somebody said they love your shirt, Kayla. What are you wearing? Or
the Nicole shirt. Did I buy her blazer from the wedding today? I'm not going to say I didn't do that. So then I can cry every time I open my closet. It'll be great.
Yeah. That's excellent.
The only time I could see myself wearing that would to be like be to court, and somehow I think that burgundy is probably not an approved color.
Well, or a convention. I'm just picturing like the photo ops I can have with it. But
where'd you find
Poshmark?
Scoped it out somewhere, huh?
Yeah.
Is that the shirt that you bought? Didn't you buy something and you got the shorts instead?
Well, I thought it was the shirt. It was actually the shorts. I paid like $30 for rush shipping, and then it arrived, and I pulled it out and was like, "Did I buy the shorts
for this shirt?"
No, then I went back and bought the shirt after I realized.
No, but I mean the shorts. Did you at one point have shorts that match that shirt?
Oh, I do still have them. Yes.
You do?
Yes. There were no returns
right now.
I'm not wearing them right now. No. Oh. I should have pulled out the full suit, the full getup. Oh man, it looks like we have a lot of people here with us, though. This is awesome. Yeah, obviously we have a lot of feelings to process. So our thoughts were, you guys can ask us questions in the comments, or if you want to come on, you can hit the StreamYard link. But if there's any like conversation topics or things you just want to get the feels out, I think I figured out now that I can show people's comments. So like I can pick people's comments to show on the screen. So we're learning. Yeah. So if there's anything, this is just for all of us to rant basically and yell about our feelings. So
well, okay, now Dee, not in Prob, has just entered and she's like, oh, we're coming for her feelings. Like, no, she comes for our feelings every day. So
yeah, that's an extremely rude comment, Dee. Come on now.
And glass houses, Dee.
Yeah. Between Dee and Heidi today, Heidi with the GIFs today has been it's been a lot. It's been a lot. And we didn't even have the lawyers on Twitter today because they were in jail all day, ironically.
Yeah, did they get out?
They are now out of jail. I am happy to say the lawyers are out of jail.
Was it a tweet that actually violated something, or were they just tweeting too much?
No, they violated.
I hope they don't mind if I say, but apparently telling IMDb TV that if they jump off a cliff, they will fly is against Twitter rules. It's not tell IMDb TV to jump off a cliff.
I said to them, apparently people can do whatever the hell they want and make threats and do all of those things. And that doesn't violate Twitter rules. But if you do a quote from a television show, no, thou must go to Twitter jail.
Exactly.
Telling IMDb to jump off a cliff.
But they told them they would fly. They didn't tell them to just jump.
Oh my God.
That's good. Right. Good. All right. Well,
I was actually busy at work today because I didn't see very many things on Twitter. I tried to get my scheduled stuff in, and then I was in a never-ending meeting. So,
well, all you missed was emotional manipulation. So, probably for the best. We have a couple people in the waiting room here that we can bring in. Louisa, are you good to come on? All right, awesome. Let's bring her in.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm pretty great.
Yeah.
You
That's,
guys.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm expecting everyone to just come on being like a ball of emotion like I am.
Because
Where are
of
you joining
412
us from? Where are you joining us from today?
from Brazil.
Oh, nice.
Dang. You
That's
joined
right.
us last time too, right?
Night?
Yeah, on the Bring My Own Home thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is everyone in your house asleep again?
No, today is the day that my parents take the day to drink and
Okay.
stay
So
till
you're having a good
12.
time.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yep.
Well, what did you think about the
Brazilians do
finale?
it. What?
What did you think about the finale episode?
Oh, I may be the one that just didn't cry at all.
Well done. Well
This
done.
one.
See, that's a hot take.
Why didn't you cry? Were you just dead inside?
No, but I just felt like immense joy, if that's
That's valid.
okay.
That's really, see, I'm gonna cry just for you saying that. I'm in a place today, guys. I'm in a place.
Yeah.
You can blame it on the vaccine.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
Because I feel like I cried more
because
the second. I feel like I was just caught
Okay,
up
go
in it
ahead.
the first time. I feel like I was just caught up in it the first time, and then the second time I really allowed it to like sink in.
No, I watched it like 3 times already. I'm rewatching again. I'm on season 3 and then going through, but I just felt like immense joy every single time, just smiling ear to ear.
That's awesome. See, I wish I mean, I guess I had that to an extent. Like today when I watched, I was like, heaving and smiling at the same time. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. You're just far beyond me on that.
But maybe
Kayla's
it's
gonna be on watch
because
572, and she's finally gonna be like, "Yay, I didn't cry."
I've watched it, I think 8 times so far, and I've cried every time. So, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, but maybe it's because I just started in January and haven't like, been through the whole ride. Maybe.
But hey, if you're on the
Or
right
maybe
now, then that's all that matters.
And that's what,
Yeah.
there's a lot of me that and I'm gonna process some things right now. A lot of my initial emotion, and this is like I'm just being very frank, is I was very angry, and for whatever reason that was, like that was the predominant the emotion I had was anger, and that wasn't because of what was on the screen. It was just because that it was over. I think, I think that's why it was, and so I would love, I have watched it several other times now and seen how beautiful it is and seen how sweet it is and how funny it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot of me that wished I could have, I could go back in time and somehow watch this episode in a vacuum and and maybe like in 10 years, I'll be able to do that. I'll be able to go back and watch this episode and appreciate it for what I think, it really is, which is just a lovely, sweet, amazing, funny, beautiful episode. And I think, intellectually, I can see it as that now that I've watched it a couple times, and Lindsey's pieced out on me. But, and so I envy people that, like you, Louisa, that were able to experience it with that emotion, because that was, I believe, truly, that's how it was intended to be seen.
Yeah.
I really, when they filmed it, when they wrote it, that's how they wanted us to see it. And I wish I could have seen it that way. And I will be able to.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because I mean, Jill and I watched in the same room, so she knows how I reacted to it. And it was just a roller coaster of things. Like at first it was the like nervous excitement and there's this dress we don't know what's going on. And then the realization hits that like, we might not see another new episode. And it was a lot to process all at once. So I agree. I wish I could go back and watch it and just have the appreciation rather than all the other mixed emotions going on. Because it was just, I mean, you can see I haven't taken down the wedding decorations. It was so much all at once. But yeah, one day.
One day. And it helps now, and I actually will say it helps now that I know where the ending is coming. Because the other thing is we thought we had another 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when it faded to black, it was like, that's the end? Wait, no, there's supposed to be another 11 minutes.
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on in my brain that night. But I'm really happy that there are people that saw it and just loved it. Because I know that that's how it was intended to be. That's how we were supposed to experience it. And I love hearing experiences like yours because it helps put it in perspective for me.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
And then maybe sometimes I'm like, I wish I could have cried. Like, why am I not crying because of this? But just immense love for everything that they put in this, for the cast, for the crew, everyone just made a lovely show, really.
Yeah, I totally.
Lovely,
That's so
hopefully
nice.
not ending, but yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice that you were able to appreciate it in that moment. It's just, yeah, even if you were like, "Come on, cry, damn it!" That's a gift too, to be able to watch it and just feel that joy. That's what it's all about. I mean, we like getting our hearts ripped out sometimes, but it's mostly joy. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
great. Well, thanks for joining us again. It was good to see you again. Go party it up
Yeah,
in
you
the
guys too.
with the family.
Well, they party. I'm just gonna continue my rewatch.
My kind of gal. My kind of gal.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Thanks,
okay.
Lisa.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys.
Of course. Have a good night.
I see
Oh,
Kevin's on.
ooh. Do we bring Kevin in here?
Are you with us, Kevin?
You ready to come in? Give me a thumbs up. All right. I don't know what happened to Lindsey. Hey.
You're not in the spot, Kevin. Where are you?
I'm on my couch with my cat watching Winona Earp fan vids.
Nice.
Sounds
You
like
don't have your green screen or anything. I can barely recognize you outside of your studio.
There you go.
So how are you holding up?
Good. I am.
Okay.
I've just accepted that I'm going to get emotional every time I talk about it for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
join the club.
Just surrender.
Yeah.
I've been wiping tears away. So
Surrender is the right word. You know, and you were talking about, being able to enjoy that final episode. It just had to surrender to all of it, to the universe, and just let it wash over.
Yeah.
At least for me, that was the only way to get the most out of it.
Did you see it early, or did you see it live like most of us?
No. Live.
Live.
Wow.
It was a lot.
Yeah. It was a lot. So doing a whiskey and donuts right afterwards, that was a lot.
I couldn't. I really wanted to join, but it was just like it was too much after.
I know. And that's, that was very, very emotional. But I mean, there were so many people who needed it, so
Yeah.
again, just had to surrender to the moment and let all of us kind of go and deal with it in their own ways.
Yeah.
But
And now that
that's kind of like all of you have been saying. It's the beauty of it when you get a chance to sit down and watch it after that,
Yeah.
And you see all of the pieces that came together, all of the beautiful dialogue, the beautiful visuals.
Oh, the visuals were.
Can't help it.
The visuals were stunning in this episode. Like the summer, the scene cracked me up. Like, I don't know if that was actually Doc's trailer from like season 1 that they got out of the junkyard and pulled it up onto the middle of a top of a hill, because of course Doc would be living on the top of a hill, you know.
Yep.
In a busted old trailer.
To have that beautiful discussion, you know, with Waverly and then with Winona, and yeah, I mean, just how it's all of 4B is so strange because visually it looks so different than what we're used to, and
Mhm.
but for that particular episode it just worked. Like it just worked because it was unlike Winter. You know, it was lush and it was flowers and it was just life affirming. Like even the visuals were life affirming to go along with the story about being, you know, life affirming. And I do really wonder what it would have looked like if they had filmed that when they initially intended to film it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people compare the dream wedding that Nicole had in 4A with the snow and the black dresses and the red, and then compare it to what it actually was. And I think you said this too, Jill, is almost like a blessing in disguise that the filming got pushed, because I couldn't imagine it any other way than the way it was. You know, it wouldn't have been the same to do something indoors maybe, or to like be trudging through the snow down the aisle. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
Typical
Was-
ERP, right? As Emily often says, sometimes the universe just lines things up for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the chairs,
Although I
like
admit,
on the chairs.
sometimes I wish the universe was a little kinder to us.
Not saying everything gets lined up for us. We know that.
So I was trying to think that episode, now again, just because of COVID protocols, I did notice in in the last episode in particular, other than the wedding dress scene, the dress shop, was everything shot outdoors?
Yeah, and the scene with Medley and Nicole with the boutonniere, that was the only indoor.
Indoor.
I just noticed that too.
I mean, and we just never like having
good
that many
observation.
outdoor scenes is not normal either.
They
But
wouldn't have survived to season 4 if they did all outdoor scenes.
Good point.
Be frozen to death on a cliff.
Season 3 callback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I want to say,
It's been so wonderful too to see all of the fan thoughts that are being shared too on Twitter. So many folks just opening up and talking about what it means to them and all, you know. I mean, it's hard, but it's also just remind us how special this is. This isn't just a few of us. This is all of us to some degree, you know, in any way that you process something like this and appreciate it. I just love that diversity of opinion and approach and all that. You know, it just makes me rethink it each time I want to go back to rewatch it with a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I notice new things every time I watch it too that I didn't notice before. Like, you know, you see the people in the background, but and that's been my favorite part so far. So now I'm just staring at everyone in the background when I rewatch now to see if I miss anything.
Yeah, very true.
One of the things I noticed on the second viewing was when Doc dives into that random swamp and she says, "Do you got it?" And he's like, "If you mean E. coli, then yes." And I remember thinking to myself, how does Doc even know what E. coli is?
He doesn't sleep, Lindsey, when he was a baby.
God, yeah.
That's true. He doesn't sleep anymore. That's right.
He knows a lot of stuff. And I will say, like, one thing I will say that I saw on the first time through, there are certain things, and this is another thing that blows me away with Winona Earp. And I know that they're on this tight filming schedule and they do all, you know, but some things that they just took my breath away. I think from the first time and every time I watch it still, during the wedding, like the combination of the music and how it was panned when they came out below Winona and Waverly walking out.
And the music hits exactly.
And the music hits and this white dress is flowing. And like, I remember in the moment that that just took my breath away. And then I put I had my computer open on my lap as if I were tweeting, but I just was like, no, I'm just going to watch this right now.
And I think Kat played that so beautifully too.
Yes.
Just her reaction to seeing her. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm glad that my cat.
How about that scene with Jock and Winona?
That one gets me too.
Yes.
That one gets me too. It's just after the fun of the wedding dress, it's just a constant attack of heels.
It really is.
I do like how she comes stomping up the hill. Like he drove and she just comes stomping up the hill in those shoes. And I'm like, okay.
Winona can do it all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I just want to say thank you to the three of you for doing this. It's great to have a place for fans to get to hang out. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. I think we all needed to just process this week and then get back together and regroup.
Yeah. See what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your rewatch, Kevin.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
You all take care.
You too.
Good night, all.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay.
All going to be fine.
Please forgive me if I don't say your name right. Is it Shay? Shelby? Shay? The first one? Okay. I'm going to bring you in now.
Hi.
Sorry, I couldn't tell if that was an I or an L at first. Got it now.
Is it an I or an L?
It's an I. It's kind of weird.
Oh, it's an I.
It's a nickname.
So how are you feeling tonight? Where are you coming from tonight? Oh, did we lose her? Sorry, I think you just cut out for a minute. Are you back?
I see myself. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
From Tucson, Arizona, but I am from Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. So how you feeling? How you doing?
Well, it was weird because I'm in the group of the Winona Earp Mexico. So one of the Earpers from Florida flew over here, and then we did a trip here in Arizona. We went to Tombstone.
Yay.
And then we flew down to Mexico with a bunch of other Earpers, and we just watched it. And oh my God, everybody was crying. And I think I was more in shock. I couldn't, they were bawling, and I'm like, oh my God. And plus we were recording our reaction. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I was just so surprised, but it was beautiful. It was so pretty.
What were you surprised by?
Just how pretty it was. And that's why I said the scenery, how you were, Jill, talking about that earlier. It was just perfect. When I read the description about the episode and how they said it was, there was going to be a witch, obviously it's Winona Earp. There was going to be something weird. But then once that happened, everything was just perfect. I couldn't believe how perfect everything was. So I was just so in shock about that. But I don't know. It's just breathtaking, I think.
I agree. And I love how they threw in the fun with Jeremy and the caterer. Of Jeremy being oh, I've got this all figured out. I'm the head of Black Badge. He's a demon. No, I'll take you on a date.
Did you guys recognize Emily's voice when she was on the phone?
Jill and I totally missed it. Totally missed it.
There was somebody in the room that we were watching with went, is that Emily?
Somebody put it on Twitter, and I was like, oh my God, texting everybody. There was a bunch of us, 10 of us in Mexico, but the group itself, the WhatsApp that we have, it's 200 people. So I'm all tagging everybody and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh my
I can
gosh.
barely keep up in a chat with 5 people. I can't imagine keeping up on one with 200 people.
It's blowing up right now, but I'm like, well, whatever. Let me put it on Do Not Disturb. I do. Sometimes I wake up and there's like 2,000 messages, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't read all of this, so I skip
That would
some.
stress me
But
out.
Yeah, you need to catch up at that point.
yeah, and everybody usually just says, oh, can I get like a little what's going on if you don't want to read everything. But I try to keep up, but I have to work, so sometimes I'm like, I can't do it right now, I'm working. But
Can we just earn full time yet? Is that a thing we can do yet?
I know. Can we just get paid to ERP all day, and then that we can be all like, tweeting and stuff like that? That'll be
That's
great.
what I'm looking for. That is what I'm looking for.
But
Where are you guys at?
Jill and I are in New York.
And I am in North Carolina.
Okay. Far east.
Yeah.
Well, Jill and I are only about 20 blocks away from each other, but
I'm farther east than you are.
true.
By like 3 avenue blocks, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've only been to the airport in New York, but I plan on going sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Give you a tour of
one
Earth.
day. Yeah, but in terms of Jeremy's date, like he couldn't even go to work on Monday because he had a date. Like,
That's the kind of job I want.
right?
She's the first thing Monday, and he goes, "Sorry, can't do it." Like, what?
Who dates on a Monday? What are you gonna do on Monday?
Like Monday at 9 a.m. What's he doing?
Getting ready all day.
Maybe
Preparing.
maybe since his date is a caterer, maybe the caterer only works in the evening, so they got to go on a date, during the morning or something.
Or maybe
We're
since
already
we
figuring
blew
out
up
Jeremy's
the
dating
Black
life for him,
Yeah. Or since we blew up the Black Badge spot that was close to Purgatory, he's got to go to the next closest one, and who knows where that is.
That's fair.
With Nicole and at the sheriff's office.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I want them to stay there. Well, thanks for.
Or they can find another building that was conveniently situated on top of a lake.
That was insane. That was insane.
Where was the building?
I have no idea. It looked beautiful.
Looked awesome.
Now I wonder where the building's at. I'm pretty sure it's close by, but I don't have no idea what that building is.
When we do our Erper field trip to Western Canada,
Right.
we'll
Somebody
find
get on like Google Earth now and start zooming in and find out where that building is.
Right?
Triangulate the landscape and just zoom right in until you find that building for us.
Right there.
For a tiny swamp, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
When are you guys doing the trip?
Oh, I was totally kidding.
Oh, because we are planning to do a trip and go to like, because there's a lot of people from Latin America in the group. So we just wanted to start maybe from like Argentina and then kind of like come up on our trip.
And end up in Canada?
Yeah.
And then up in Canada. Yeah.
Sadly, I don't think Canada's opening this year. As of right now, it doesn't look like they're open.
Yeah.
No, and I don't think we would do a trip right now because I mean, even going to Mexico, it was a little bit, weird and stuff. But
2023.
2020.
Maybe by the time I hit 45, I'll be able to get there.
Through your bus. Here we go.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought you had to only quarantine for 14 days, but it was open in Canada. No.
No, I don't think we are allowed to cross the border.
Business.
Yeah,
only.
the border. I believe the border's still closed unless
if
you're
you're a
traveling
citizen,
business.
you can get in quarantine.
Especially me from Arizona, that we were like the epicenter of pandemics, COVID and stuff. So it was weird.
Yeah.
I know. It was just, I'm like, you guys can't do anything, but we were essential workers. So I'm like, I'm still going to work. Like nothing has changed for me. So
Yeah. It has been nice to be at home, but ready to get back at it.
Oh, I've never been home. I'm always out.
I was
But
home,
yeah.
half time. I was in the office part time and home part time, but pretty much now I'm 95% back at the office. So,
Wow.
which,
Ready for
after a
that.
year, I was ready. I was ready to go back so that, my cats and I can all survive.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's cons and then we can all go to Canada and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been planning to go to Canada for like the past 10 years and I still haven't been. But now I have more of a motive to go. So as soon as they open.
Well, send us pictures. I want to see this mysterious building over a lake.
If I find it, right? What am I going to do? Google Earth everything once I'm there.
I know. All right. Well, I think we have a full lineup here, so I'm going to switch off to someone else. But thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Sorry about your 200-person chat. That is insane.
I'll tell them you guys say hi.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Next up, we have Bree. Are you ready? All right. Let's bring her in. Hello.
Hello.
There we go.
How's it going?
Pretty well. Just making sure the cats are currently sleeping, but they're probably going to wake up now that I'm talking.
It's quite an intricate tower you have there. I love it.
Yeah, they'll tear up the house otherwise.
I feel you.
Yeah, one of them will. The other one is too small to jump on anything.
That's so funny. You guys should commiserate over your experiences.
Well, they're cats. What can you do?
Not much.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Oh, there's been a lot of emotions. I've been trying to get... So I got to go to Montana this week and kind of visit with someone I've been talking to. I've been trying to get her to watch Winona Earp.
Did you go to Miracles, Montana?
There is no Miracles, Montana. I did look. The very first thing I did was to look because I was going to drag her there, but it does not exist.
I would have done.
Good to know.
Yeah. But no, she's not a big television person. But I did make her take her on a tour of Way Hot and make her watch the first episode with me again.
That's what I feel like. All you have to do is give people a taste, and they'll either know if it's their thing or not. But I haven't met someone who's gotten a taste and been like, not my thing.
I've got.
Really?
It's her thing. She just doesn't watch television shows. Yeah. So I'll have to and she lives too far away to make her watch it with me every day.
Just gradually, once a week, maybe do an episode. Then after a year, I'll get them all in.
Yeah, once we're both vaccinated, she'll be coming here hopefully soon, and then I'll, kidnap her and
then you can force her to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, my brother just started watching a couple of weeks ago, and he won't tell me what he thinks or what's going on. He'll just randomly message me during the episodes and be like, "Dolls needs to get that stick out of his ass." I'm like, "Oh, are you on episode 2?"
Yeah, I had an experience. I was at one of my friends' houses, one of my nursing friends, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I watched this years ago," and so we started watching an episode. She's like, "I have no idea what's going on." I was like, "It's okay, I know exactly. I could fill you in on like the entirety of the show up to this point if you really want me to."
Yeah, you can recite it by heart, right, with sock puppets.
Basically, I can do that with most shows that I love because I watch them so many times.
Yeah. What else is there to watch? Those have been my favorite memes this week, where it's like trying to watch another show that's not Winona. It's like spitting your drink out. It's like there's just nothing that comes close anymore. I can't.
It doesn't help.
Watch anything else. And
I haven't been really stressed. I've been finishing up my school this semester / forever, and I've just been like, okay, I'm just so stressed. I just want to keep rewatching Winona Earp until graduation.
Yeah, it's a comfort thing.
I really, I really get that because I think I've said before that over the last year, with everything going on, I didn't have the mental capacity to watch new things. So I wasn't that person that was on Netflix binging Tiger King. Still haven't watched that. Tiger King or any of that, because I just didn't have the capacity for it. So I was only watching things that I knew and loved and could just kind of watch mindlessly. So I did a lot of rewatches as well.
Yeah, no, that's been like the past, how long have I been in school? The past 3-4 years? Just,
Yeah.
I don't watch new things. I just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and recite entire TV episodes in my head when I get bored.
What's your go-to episode?
I think 207 is just really fun for me. Because I like the episode 7 of every season is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I just love the Winona and Nicole play that we get. Just the best friends bits.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we've gotten a lot of good ones this season too, I think, that aren't necessarily like the, two of them going off on an adventure, but just like the little moments. Like the hug at the cook-off will haunt me forever.
The hug and what?
At the
The
chili
cook-off.
Yes.
Just their episode 2 when Nicole punched Winona and just like called her best friend and all this, like it was so like for Winona to have never had that and to suddenly like be confronted with the fact that people do care about her now. It was really just like, okay, my heart's melted. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I
exist
liked it.
anymore.
I liked in 12 when Waverly says to Doc, apparently they're best friends now, and Winona's just looking out the window and she does that little smile thing. I'm like, oh.
Yes.
I find it a really stark contrast to when before Winona knew that Nicole and Waverly were dating.
Yeah.
When she's like, so what, are you guys best friends now? And then just to have the contrast of where they are best friends now, it's just really nice.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And I really wonder how it's when I watch it on screen, it's clear in season 1, they didn't know each other. The characters didn't know each other, but the actresses didn't know each other either. And you could just tell that, it just came through and how the real life progression of their relationship has gone on. You can really see it reflected on screen. Like they're just so comfortable with each other.
Yeah. One of my favorites is when they're in the bar after Dolls dies. And she tells her, you don't have the monopoly on all of our grief. I found that to be a really big moment for the two of them. And for Winona not to just storm out, like, F you and storm out. For Winona to really take that to heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, was a big moment for them.
And I think that's a big thing with Winona too, is if she's willing to be vulnerable, like that's the whole thing with Doc. Like she wasn't willing to be vulnerable for him. And well, that's my take. Don't come for me. But I just think that, like you said, Lindsey, that was a huge moment for them where she just let her call her on her shit and was like, you're right, but I'm still taking your fucking beer.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think Winona will ever not take someone's beer. There's no situation where she wouldn't.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. Yeah. Oh man.
I'm just gonna have all the feelings for the next forever.
Yeah, it's hard to like truly focus on other things throughout the day. Like I'll be sitting there, trying to get work done, and then I'll just be like, oh my God, do you remember that moment? I just have to watch it really quick, and I'll run off and like watch a scene and then go back. Then an hour later, same thing.
I think the hardest part for me is that I think what Jill was saying earlier, like just kind of I don't know, like it was such a perfect ending, just like visually, but at the same time my brain and my body doesn't want it to be an end. So I'm just kind of sitting there going, it's so beautiful, but at the same time, it's not the end, but it is the end. And I'm just it's like that conflict of my head and the world right now.
Yeah. I'll accept it as the finale of the season, for sure. Beautiful end to season 4. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of things that say, I can't imagine a more perfect ending, to a series. Like, and a lot of people have said, like, of all series, like this would rank right up there as among the best series ending. And there's part of me that goes like, I don't need it to be better. Like I'm happy with the season 5 that is comparable. Even if it's not quite as good, but almost as good, I'm down with that. Like season 4 has been this peak. I don't want it to. There's more of me is there's so much more story to tell. Like the characters' arcs came. Like if you talk about an arc, they clearly hit their peak. A lot of the characters hit a peak in their character arc. But there's so much more story to tell, and there's so much more character story to tell. I mean, we were talking about the demons and humans are living together now. What's married life? Are they gonna try to have a kid? Are Doc and Winona gonna bring Alice back?
Are we going to get Eve?
Eve, like, what's the book about? Is Dark Angel Waverly gonna show up one day again? Like, there's so much more story to tell. So I get that this was a beautiful ending, and there absolutely was, but I also go, it doesn't have to end there. Like, there's a way to go on.
I really truly need to see Alice and Nicole like running around outside playing. Alice crosses the Ghost River Triangle boundary and Nicole just flat out on her back. I need to see it.
It's the border.
Winona's like, Alice, run that way. Like Nicole just flat out. I need to see it.
That. And then Nicole being like, Winona, did you tell her to do that?
I want to see the Waverly
little
Angels
and like jumping into the Ghost River Triangle and jumping out. You can't get me.
It fights itself. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But
I want to see like Waverly's Angels. So I want to see like, the three of them, what are their capabilities now? So you've got Dark Angel Waverly, you've got Winona as the champion. And I really want to see what exactly does being the shield entail for Nicole? Is there a supernatural element that comes to it or not? And if so, then how does that play out for her after being so solidly human with no real otherworldly abilities up until this point? And I do, Kayla, now that you put that in my head, I want to see her whack into the Ghost River Triangle wall.
I just picture her at the stairs trying to get up the stairs, right? And she just kind of bounces back. Like, just imagine running full force.
Not realizing where
my head cannons.
And a part of me worries that it wouldn't happen, and then there'd be a whole bunch of other complications of if she accidentally steps out, like what would happen then? Like there's so many places they could go with that.
You had to make it scary. You couldn't just let us
laugh. All right,
so just let her bounce.
Brain goes.
Every time she steps outside the Ghost River Triangle, she ends up back wherever Waverly is. Oh shoot!
Like somebody now, I'm actually like, I need this fanfic where what Nicole comes back to the homestead with a bloody nose, and Waverly's like, "Oh dear, did you run into the boundary again?" The nose.
Yeah. They just have caution tape around the whole triangle.
Or you got Winona running in going, it wasn't me. And then in storms Nicole, bloody nose. And,
I told you, gingers are bleeders.
Goodness.
Oh,
I can verify that.
Well, thanks for joining us, Bree. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks for letting me in.
Yeah, of course. I hope you and your little friends back there have a good night. They're living it up.
They'll be up all night. It'll be great.
Perfect. All right. Thanks.
Bye.
All right.
It's Christine Herbert.
I was ramming into that wall.
I'm gonna laugh about running into the boundary.
It has to happen, right? It has to happen.
Whoa!
So I could just now picture. I'm sorry, Christine, give me a second. Like, just picture it. I'm gonna be trying to tell somebody like my family who kind of generally watches, like they sort of keep up with it just so they know what I'm talking about. And I can imagine trying to impart this conversation to them, and I'll be laughing and laughing and laughing, and then I'll just start bawling, and they'll be like, Jill, I don't even know what to do with you right now.
That pretty much covers it. Yep, that pretty much
Yep.
covers it. Someone said get Nicole a shock collar.
Oh god.
Well,
It's like the invisible fence. It's like the invisible fence. She just has
No.
to wear the collar. She gets close and it starts to vibrate.
Waverly seems to have a lot of interesting things under her bed. I wouldn't put it past them, but for it's for the Homestead Hangout After Dark. We're
I was
still
gonna say, we've now reached Homestead Hangout After Dark. The rating has changed to R.
The rating has changed.
we're
now
on the streaming
into-
platform.
What things does Waverly have under her bed?
I feel like I've walked into a party and I'm the only one sober.
Oh, I'm on the water.
We're just at the end of our emotional ropes.
Yeah, this is me very vulnerable.
How are things in Australia today?
They're very good, actually. It's just coming up to midday. I've come off an ERPA meet and greet, which was a load of fun. With people meeting for the first time on screen and facilitating some conversation, which was really great, and getting to know some ERPAs a little better. And it's amazing how many teachers were in the group. I didn't know that the ERP fandom attracted teachers. I got the other theme was artists, lots of artists and creatives. But I didn't realize, out of 20 or so people there was, I'd say, a quarter or a little bit more than a quarter were teachers.
Wow.
Or had been teachers. So, yeah, it was fun.
Did you drop
So, Kayla, how are you, Kayla? Are you coping?
I'm okay. I shared a photo of me watching the episode, like an hour ago in a group chat that Christina's in, and I was very much not okay about an hour ago. But I'm doing better. I haven't got it yet. No, mute. No, I can mute you, and I will. Guys, it wasn't me this time.
I wanted to get you before you got me. That's
actually fair, because I was planning to whip that one out later. So
yeah. So done and dusted. So I'm planning my own homestead wedding.
Oh.
And they've stolen all my ideas. Where do I go from here?
It's going to be on your homestead. That's idea one.
Yes, and like a lot of what was there was in my head, and now I'm thinking, do I go that way and look like a cliche?
Who cares? Be a cliche.
Yeah.
Can
A
you have
wedding
a
needs to be a
kangaroo?
Pinterest
Do
board.
you have a kangaroo at your homestead wedding? Because I think I would want a kangaroo at my homestead wedding.
Yeah, well, there'll be kangaroos. They hop over they're just in the paddock next door.
Were you planning on having empty chairs?
No,
Wow.
I think that is an idea I could steal. Yeah, that is one I could steal. My dad's no longer with us, so I'd have to have one for him. And I've been told by a lot of workers I have to have one for them. So, yeah, I definitely like that idea of the chairs. And now you're going to get me crying. And I haven't cried yet from the episode.
Oh, no.
I've watched it over 20 times. So, and I haven't cried. So, yeah. And Kayla asked me last night why that was the case. And I said, because I'm a cold hard bitch. No, that's not true. I think it's a little bit of what Jill was saying before, right? You go into defense mode, and my head was in the fight. And I was much more angry and wanting to fight coming off that ep, because to me that was the epitome of greatness. And I thought, this is worth fighting for. So, yeah, that's where I was at the end. Now I'm feeling emotional all of a sudden.
Welcome to our world.
You played yourself, Christine. You played yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get yourself into the emotions.
There's lots of fun in playing yourself, apparently.
See, I've gone through, and this is I have a really close group of friends that I met through actually the X-Files fandom, and we've been friends for 20 years and have gone through, we met in the birth of the internet. I'm going to age myself, back while the X-Files was still on, and we've just remained friends ever since. And they watch Winona, but they're not like super into it, but they watch every week, and so they were very sensitive. As this week, they're like, "Jill, we're thinking about you. We're concerned about you. Just check in with us. How are you doing?" And I told them, I said, the stages of grief, like the 5 stages of grief, like your denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. And I said, but there's one more that is cycling through, which is hope, because like you don't even know if you should grieve yet, because so you can't fully grieve because you're like, I don't know if I should. And so it's been a very strange emotional journey the last week.
I have some questions for you guys, because based on that, as a baby Earper, when you came off the first round and you found out that you weren't getting renewed, that feeling, there's a lot of comments on Twitter about, are we achieving anything? Is our voice being heard? Are we making any ground? Does this make a difference? Do we keep fighting, or do we accept it? Do we keep hope, or do we sit here and cry? So I'm just wondering from the 3 of you, if at the end of when you found out it wasn't being renewed, in that fight, what was it like? Did you have moments where you nearly gave up?
Do you mean season 4?
Yeah, for season 4, at the end of season 3.
I would say we were never told it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't like we've pulled the plug. It was, there's delays, and then we got nothing. And correct me if I'm wrong, the 2 of you, but that was how I felt, was kind of like, they're not going back. They're not going to go back for the foreseeable future. And we don't know what's next.
Yeah, the experience with season 4, the fight for season 4, was in many ways vastly different, because we were told there was a season 4. And we all had been through 2 and 3. We knew when the writers went back to the writers' room. We know when they were supposed to start filming. We hadn't heard anything. The writers were supposed to be writing around October, and they weren't. And we're like,
what the hell?
Weird, but maybe they're just secretive. But Emily's really big on keeping things secret and not having spoilers, so that's not a big deal. By the time January rolled around and we weren't seeing any pictures from the cast or any tweets from the cast saying they were heading back to Calgary, things started getting weird. Like,
I think the red flag was Dominique was just chilling in Brazil, and we were like,
yeah, Dominique, nobody was reporting to Calgary. It was just like,
what's going on?
And we also weren't getting any signals like it's something, we weren't being told something was wrong. So it wasn't until basically Emily sent out like just a little floater. All she has to do is put up a little floater that just indicates fight, and literally that's all it was. I think she said.
But she deleted it, and even still, we trended on a Thursday night ahead of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. I mean, I believe the tweet was, "Are you ready to put your fighting pantaloons on? Or are you ready to fight for the thing you love?"
Right.
Yes. So I think she said, "Are you ready to fight for the thing you love?" And we didn't know what that meant or why we had to fight. And it was gone within 5 minutes. But I mean, everything exploded. And then we found out more. But we were in that for 4 months, 5 months. And yeah, there were times when we were, I mean, the amount of anger we had because there was no information. It was radio silence. It was radio silence.
We didn't get updates. We knew Sci-Fi was on board then. That's what we knew. And so that's why I started hacking into their board meetings and being like, what the fuck is happening? Because we didn't get anything otherwise.
Yeah.
So we had radio silence. So to answer your question in terms is, yes, we are accomplishing things. I do think, like, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think this, I've heard both things, that this is both a easier lift.
Yes.
And a harder lift. I've heard both. Meaning it's more likely than, like getting season 4 was a huge number of moving pieces. Getting season 5 is just 1 or 2 moving pieces. So in that way, getting season 4 is easier. But on the other hand, we've been around the block a bunch of times and there's just not that more willing participants. So in that ways, it's harder. I don't know. I do know that they are that the ratings are the ratings, and that social media and our continued passion is the only thing that's going to get us there.
Yeah. That's
So we have to, because they are still watching.
yes,
They are
yes,
still
and
watching, so that does matter.
that for me is the real critical part, Jill. Like it's one thing when a fandom screams loudly during the airing of the show, but when it ends and the sound dies down, that is the time we need to be our loudest. That's the time when they'll be watching the most. So for me, I've been seeing a lot of comments this week post, and I know we're all in our feels, and that's fair. But I've been seeing some people really question and some tweets made about, so do we keep fighting? What do we do? And I remember Emily said just recently, the fight's just beginning. So I think what I wanted to achieve in asking that question was just to send, especially the baby Earpers, a bit of a boost in keeping up, keep fighting hard, keep tweeting, keep hashtagging, keep flirting with the networks, because it will eventually, if anything's going to make a difference, right? That's going to make a difference.
That's going to make a difference. And it's going to make a huge difference. Like, we're doing things that no other fandom has done. And doing it 4 years in. So,
which we should give you guys a big pat on the back for, because last week the billboards, and I know so many people got behind this, but your live broadcast last week was groundbreaking. Like it just us little Earpers in Didsbury, Canada, live, and we had all different people involved, and Emily joined you. I just from a observer and watching on from Australia, and that was so freaking good, and a big pat on the back to the three of you and everybody that behind the scenes that we don't see that helped out. That makes a big difference to the fandom. Leadership is so important, so thank you for that leadership.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. And I will say that, it's to your point, it's absolutely critical that people keep going. One thing I truly believe is we will be told to stand down if there's no hope.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to keep going and keep tweeting and keep hashtagging until Emily tells me not to.
Yeah.
Or the girls in the top shelf are put back in prison.
Or 2027. I think I'll stop at 2027.
2027.
Or Emily tells me, whichever comes first.
Yeah. I have one final question. Kayla, you were going to come as Dark Kayla. I'm just wondering, you would
like cosplay for today.
No, that's not dark enough. I said we need Dark Kayla.
Next time. I gotta get my angel wings out.
Yeah. From the dry cleaners.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I could chat to you guys all day. Thank you. Lindsey, I love that sweat, man. I've got the same one, but it's just not quite cold enough here yet. I'll be in a couple of months.
Nice.
Cool.
Thank you, guys. I'll let you have someone else on. Keep doing what you're doing great work, and shining lights in the community. So thank you so much from everybody.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. I think she dropped a new fic this week too, and I think I read it. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure that she dropped a new fic this week.
Who did?
Christine.
Oh, okay. I didn't know she wrote fic.
I didn't either, but I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that she did.
Just making
now I have to go look. Oh, jeez.
See a couple of people in the queue, but they don't have their cameras on, so I don't know. Does that mean you? Oh, okay. They just popped. I said that, so I'm gonna bring them in. Is that okay? Did you want to say something?
No, I was just gonna. Yeah, I think Christine has been here for a really long time. I feel like.
Yeah, I think Paige has been here for a really long time. I'm gonna bring Paige in first.
Okay. Yeah.
Paige, are you ready?
Give us a thumbs up.
Okay. Hello.
Hi guys.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Sorry to keep you waiting there.
I was actually waiting on my phone, and my audio was like going in and out. So I'm like, now I'm gonna see if I can get on my computer, and my computer has better audio. So
Loud and clear.
yeah.
So how are you coping after that finale?
I still don't know.
That is an excellent answer.
I still don't know. Every time I rewatch it, I still cry over it. So
Happy tears or sad tears or both, or do you not know?
Angry tears.
I only cry happy tears during the wedding scene. That's it.
Yeah,
That's good.
I cry a little bit of sad tears for Doc and Winona. She says I can't leave her. It gets me
Yeah,
too.
that's tough.
I watched today the scene in the barn. What there was an interview recently with Melanie when she talked about when Dom broke down in that scene in the barn. She said, and Dom was kneeling, and like she just completely lost it, and said that it all had just hit her. And I watched that scene today, and it hit a little different, knowing, you know, how into it they were at the time.
Yeah.
And I also wondered, I was like, well, Dom, you don't look like you've been crying. Like when I cry, I look like a complete mess for like the next 20, 50 minutes. Like you look perfect still.
I don't know how they do it. They're beautiful criers, all of them.
Yeah.
And Varun bringing the crying this season. That scene about Robin, like
that was real tough.
Yeah.
They've all brought it. They just want to fuck up our feels. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. They have a makeup team. That's true, Heather. They do. They have
a makeup team. Your eyes are a little red there, Dom. Just
a couple of eye drops, you'll be good. You'll be good.
So, Paige, what was your favorite part of the episode?
Probably the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything in particular that stood out?
Dom walking down the aisle. Yeah.
I love when she walks down the aisle, and I also love the shot when they pull back from the two of them under the arbor and you see her veil. It's just that shot really, really gets me too.
And then the song starts, and it's just like,
oh my gosh, I can hear it.
I've listened to that song so many times today. I've lost count.
You're brave. I haven't been able to do it yet. I can't listen to the whole thing and just.
No. Has anybody been able to watch the Glad interview yet?
Nope.
I watched it.
I did.
Did you? I am not able to watch that yet. No, I got through 3 minutes of it and I went, nope.
I was watching it at work. That was a poor choice.
Yeah.
I got about 3/4 of the way through and I was like, this was a poor choice. But I just powered through.
I made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, I made a terrible mistake. Fortunately, I'm in my office by myself and I had it on my earbuds. And I'm like, we're just going to power through and hope nobody comes in. Be like, Lindsey, why are you crying over your spreadsheet? And I'd be like, it's fine. It's testing. It's fine.
Yeah, last Friday was a very emotional day for me. You have the season 4 finale, and then Taylor Swift just decides to drop Fearless out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
No one talk to me. I'm in my feels right now. No one talk to me.
I made Jill listen to the new Fearless album before we started the episode. She was like, I don't think I've heard this one.
Is it just a remaster? Is it remaster of Fearless?
It's a remaster, and then there's also bonus tracks that she wrote back then that she never released that are also very, very good.
I will say that
what the ultimate fuck you of like, you're going to buy my records? Okay, I'll just make them again.
Yeah.
Actually, you yelled at me for a good 5 minutes for walking home the night before. That's what you did before we watched the episode.
Yeah, and then you did it again, didn't you?
I did it again.
Well, Jill leaves my apartment after Earp Square at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and I was like, "You're getting in a car, and then you're getting out of a car and going home." And what does she do? She's like, "Oh, I walked through Times Square. The city's deserted." Well, that's probably not a time to be walking alone, Jill. Just saying.
Especially in Times Square where all the action is. So
actually, Times Square, I almost, so the night before, the Thursday night, we had Earp Square, and it ended really late. And Kayla, you're what, 10 blocks from Times Square-ish? Something like
I don't want
that.
to give my exact location, Jill, but sure.
There's a radius. It could be the radius.
There's a radius around Times Square. Sure.
Is it 10 blocks?
I don't really want to do the math on.
Okay. In any case, and that's the first time I'd been in Times Square in literally a year. And I walked through, and the only people there were like the construction workers, and then like these kids that were doing either BMX tricks or skateboard tricks. And I mean, all of this little area they were doing these tricks in, I don't know how much marijuana they were smoking, but it was a lot, because that's all that, like, I walked through and I got a contact high, and I was so tempted to do that after the episode, because I was like, you know what I need right now? I need
to chill out.
I need a BMX marijuana contact high.
a little bit of contact high right now. That's what I need right now. So yeah. Your social security number and blood type. Yes. What is your address? So yes, I did not. I wanted to. I didn't walk home on the night of the episode. I got in the subway and cried.
That's better.
I cried in the subway on the way to your apartment, and I cried on the subway on the way home.
That is the beautiful thing about New York City, though. There's always a girl crying. Like I was going to buy like the endless bottles of champagne that we consumed during the episode, and it's a nice street. There's a couple of different shops there, like condo buildings, whatever. And then there's just this girl in the dead center of the sidewalk sobbing on the phone, and she's like, "But he's said that," and can't even get a word out. Just completely shameless. I was like, you know what? Respect.
Good for you, girl. You just let it out.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
You live most of your life in public, and when you live in New York, so
yeah. And nobody
makes me wonder: are you more approachable or less approachable on the subway if you're crying? Are you less likely to have somebody bother you, or more likely to have somebody bother you?
Less. Yeah.
People don't want those feelings. They just want. They're like, no, I don't want.
I mean, they'll give you a sympathetic. I mean, as someone who's cried on the subway several times, they will give you a sympathetic look of like, "Oh, honey, you're having a bad night."
You're having a bad day.
I'm giving that look to people like,
yeah,
sorry.
At least at least on my commute home, if I'm crying, I'm just crying in the car. I don't know what's better, me being behind the wheel of the car.
I was gonna say,
or
can you get pulled over for driving while crying? Ask the lawyers.
Yes. I'll have to ask them. Yeah, probably. If I looked too much in distress, I probably could be pulled over.
Somebody said, "What's the weirdest thing you've seen a stranger do in New York?" I have a lot of stories. I don't know if any of them I want to share. Anything you can imagine seeing a stranger do in public probably has happened.
Well, I mean, being in New York, it's not strange. Like, you see pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually seen people having sex once in midday in Central Park, and like you're walking along and you just kind of look across the field and you're like, are they doing what I think they're doing? I think they are doing what I think they're doing. I don't think that's legal. Moving on.
Neither is smoking weed in Times Square, but to each their own.
Yeah.
Paige, I'm sorry this is taking a turn.
I've been to New York. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you've seen it. You know how it goes.
I love the people that have a cat on their shoulder or are playing. Like, there's a woman that plays the saw. She has this big, huge saw that's, I mean, like, it's massive, and she has a bow, like a cello bow, and she plays it and bends the saw so it makes different sounds.
Yeah.
She's
And
very into it, and she frightens me because I always stop because I'm just so fascinated, and then she'll look right at me and smile as she's playing it, and that just kind of, I'm like, and I'm out of here.
And I'm done.
My favorite is the people who sell churros on the subway platform. I don't know where they've been, where you made them, why you're pushing them around in a cart on the subway platform. But, you know, if I ever need a midnight snack,
They're always there.
where to go? They're always there.
I could have used a churro last Friday night. Now that I think about it. I had a lot
You
of
didn't get a Subway churro on the way home.
Subway churro.
If you cried into your
So
subway
bad, I
churro, that
got
would
a
have been really
Subway
rock
churro.
bottom.
It would have been. I was pretty much at rock bottom last Friday, so.
That's how you tell
After you
when
left,
you're
I cried into leftover wedding cake. So
That's how you judge it. You're like, I was so low that I ate a Subway churro.
Not just ate one, I cried into one.
I cried into my Subway platform churro.
it's perfect. Yeah, that's how you know you're a real New Yorker.
I had a lot of feel.
Sam said, "I would risk anything for churros." Yeah, Sarah, how do they get them on the platform? They have these wheelie carts, and they take the elevator down, and they have these and these are not like, you know, little churros. These are churros. Now, whenever I start riding the subway again, I'm gonna have to.
They're Homestead After Dark size churros.
I don't even know what to do with this.
Lindsey, you broke us.
You are banned for a good 5 minutes.
Oh, I do have the power to ban her from this room. We're the lawyers. Put her in StreamYard jail.
I'm never gonna look at a churro.
I mean, I walked into that one, so that's
You
my
did.
fault.
You really did. Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
Paige.
thanks for joining us.
Sorry, Paige.
I wonder why all of our Zoom calls take 3 hours. Wow.
Now, if you guys are ever wondering where we come up with our themes, it's usually after discussions.
Always after dark, and it's always Lindsey saying something outrageous. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Paige. We got a couple other people in the queue here too.
Thanks for having me on here.
We didn't scar you too badly.
No, I've been to New York. I agree with everything you're saying.
All right. Amazing. Have a good night. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Oh my. Whew.
Yeah, you walked into that one. Sorry.
Ellie just commented it's a double-ended churro.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we are adult human ladies. Let's get it together.
All right. Jill, who did you say was waiting for a long time?
Christina with a K.
Christina with a K. You're coming in to something here.
Something. Wow.
Please pull us out of this spiral.
Oh, it hit 10 p.m. and that's when we just kind of go off our rockers.
That's awesome, though.
Oh, yeah. So how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right. You guys hanging in there?
Hanging in.
Yeah.
You know, it's a roller coaster. I'm laughing till I'm crying over churros, and then I'm actually crying over other things. So yeah.
Yep.
It's gotta take
I feel that.
Are you a teacher? I'm looking at your background.
Am I a teacher?
Yes. Isn't
I'm
just looking at one of your background carving or something.
Oh, yes. I teach dance, and I also am a teacher, but I'm not in the school system right now. But I've taught dance forever.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You do ballet?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, since I was a babe.
Oh, nice. Yeah, not nearly
Yeah,
great.
I don't have that grace.
No, but dancers aren't graceful. I laugh every time someone posts little clips of all the times Dom has tripped, because I feel that 100%. I trip up the stairs at least once a day over air. you know, it,
Amazing.
So do you think this is a debate? Somebody posted this question. I don't know the answer. Do you think her little trip up the hill after she talked to Doc was scripted,
she's
or do you
full
think
on tripped.
I think
No,
she's
She
like,
totally
tripped.
tripped.
that was like an actual
You
trip?
can tell because she always goes, "Oop."
Yeah. There was a little.
Yeah.
There's a little.
Give us steps to actually dance, and we're okay mostly, but real
Yeah.
life, no.
Absolutely not.
No, not at all. Every time at the dance studio, we have stairs to go to the upper studios, and you'll hear somebody go clunk clunk coming up every time.
See, I feel like you just walked into something there. I think the chat is about to go absolutely crazy. Someone clunking up the stairs. Not here. Not here, folks.
Oops.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
It's hard not to walk into these things. You don't think about it. You don't think about it.
I definitely don't.
Mental curves. That's all right. We're all
We're all friends. We're all friends here. See, yep. D's like stairs. Nope, absolutely.
Oh
not.
yeah, D is on it. Where's Fran? Is Fran in the chat? I'm sure she's coming
Oh,
at
yep,
me.
there she is. Kayla starts it again. I did not start that. Time.
Churros and stairs.
Oh, Sarah. They're coming after me later. I'm gonna get it.
That's all right.
So what? When the episode ended, what was your feelings? Right in that.
Oh, I was bawling my eyes out. That last to the sign, I went from crying pretty much from Nedley and Nicole on, just crying. And then when I saw the sign, I went to ugly, full on hysterical sobbing. Yeah, because the show itself and everything that the episode encompassed just hit me so personally on so many levels. Like the wedding that I didn't know I needed to see in my life, the found family. I don't want to get you guys all crying, but like there's so many things, like the found family and that everyone welcome. And yeah, I mean, finding this community, best thing that's ever happened to me.
How long have you been a Nerper?
I found the show in December, and it was very, I don't consider myself a pandemic erper because I guess I kind of am, but it was a long 6 degrees, 12 degrees of separation, very random. I saw Phantom of the Opera popped up on my iPad on YouTube, and they were airing musicals.
Yep.
Okay, so randomly, and it popped up just in time, randomly, out of the blue, for me to watch it before it came down. So you know what I'm talking about, Lindsay? So when they showed that, I watched it just in time. Like it was coming down in 2 hours, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, cool. Watched it and was just impressed, and Googled the people and whatever. And then I saw that the actress, who is Sierra Boggess, was doing these just things over COVID, just different YouTube videos and posts and inspirational things. And she was following a dancer who was doing classes and all these different random things. And she had Michael Eklund on one of her posts, like on one of her YouTube things that she was doing throughout the summer. And she had all sorts of very inspirational people that were on, and, you're checking them out because they're all great. And, everyone's in the fields during the pandemic. And then when I checked out Michael Eklund, I'm like, oh, what's this show about? And that's how it kind of just randomly, and I left it for a bit. I was intrigued, but I left it for a bit because I would have had to get it, because we don't have it on Netflix right now in Canada. And I didn't have, what is it, Crave it's on right now? I'm trying to think. But yeah, I didn't have the access to it at the time, and I kind of left it. But once you pop on things, then you start getting all the things popping up for you. So I just kept seeing clips of it all over my Instagram and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I really should watch it. So I watched it in December and binged it in 2, maybe 3 days.
Wow.
And then I was completely hooked, and it was everything I needed at the right time that I needed it. And then when February 5th happened, I lost my mind and jumped on Twitter, which is not something I've ever done before.
That's amazing. So you joined Twitter like for this fight, basically.
Yeah. I was like, no, this is not happening. What am I doing?
Fun fact about Sierra Burgess, all of the pictures from Earp Square when Tim and Michael were there, she took for us.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. So yeah, it was just the randomest way that I found the show, and it happened exactly right when it needed to happen. And it's just everything, all the themes in the show, every character I can relate to something about them. And so when it all just came together so beautifully, it just, my heart. And the actors were so connected. Like, they were so good. Every time I saw someone look at someone during that wedding, I lost my mind.
Yes.
Like, and how they do that.
You know, I mean, we got a lot of shots of Kat. So, I mean, she did an amazing job. I mean, when she shook hands with Doc, I just lost it. Like, her face was just, oh my God. And then watching Waverly come down the aisle, and it was like, okay, 402, I can't believe this is real face. And I'm just.
Yeah. 402, I can't believe this is real face. Yeah.
Well, you know.
No, I totally get where you're.
Yeah. You know, just the awe and and I was like, oh my goodness. And just, yeah. And I mean, Nedley and Nicole, just so sweet, and just everyone as a family. And I mean, the chairs, because I just remember thinking, oh, well, there's going to be a wedding. It would be so amazing if Dolls could be there, or if Gus could be there, because they championed that from the beginning. They knew right away. Mm-hmm. And even in that is beautiful. And as I said, like, I haven't been one to watch a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of people have stories about, you know, watching things like Buffy and different things, and seeing a lot of the hardship and stuff that has been the representation thus far. And I was always just kind of like, oh, it's a good story. Good stories are great. But seeing it done so right and so beautifully, and how they represent the LGBT community, and how they just represent every human condition, is just amazing. Yeah. Like, they, you know, I mean, Jolene cuts me, like, that the whole story arc, both of them, like, they just do it all so well.
I have such a visceral reaction to Jolene. I think I told Jill at one point, you know, when she came out of the shadows in that cabin, like, my whole, like, abdomen was kind of like, what the F? Yeah. You know, I just have such a reaction to seeing her, which obviously goes back to the first time we saw her, and she was such a pivotal thing. Yeah, she's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And everything she represents is very powerful.
Very powerful.
I love what you said about just how it represents the human condition. Yeah, but it's like the good storytelling, the great storytelling, and then the real storytelling, and what story do you want to tell? And I still I can't picture another wedding like that, where the couple didn't break up, where something tragic didn't happen on the wedding day. Like, I truly don't think that it's happened. A lot of people point to, like, Calzona on Grey's Anatomy. Well, you know, they chopped off one of their legs and sent the other one packing across the country. It just, you don't get that. And that's not real. Like, real people don't get married and then, like, randomly get shot. It just doesn't happen. You don't have like this beautiful, lovely moment, and then everything just comes crashing to a halt.
Yeah. And I mean, it has all the genre. I mean, it has all the genre stuff in it. There's always drama, but it's not that kind of drama. It's not it's never unnecessary, and it's never rushed. It's never fraught. It's always just truth and heart.
Yeah. And it's ruined every other show for me, because now that it's like, once you see something, you can't unsee it, and now I can't see anything but this. It's like, what's the point? What's the point in doing any of this if you're not going to make it real?
Yeah, and it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard to watch other shows and because I've gotten to a point with Winona Earp where I know that Emily's not going to screw with them. Like, she's going to put them through hell, but ultimately they're going to come out the other side. And so I can accept, like, when I watched this episode, we, around the fire pit, one of our questions was, did you ever believe that Emily, during that, not the final season, not the final episode, but the episode before, was there ever a moment, did you think that Emily was about to kill somebody off? And I said, yes. I thought she was about to kill Doc off. I thought for a moment Waverly was about to go up into the garden again and be stuck there. I thought Waverly was turning Nicole into stone, because I could let myself go there just briefly, knowing that it was going to be okay. It wasn't ultimately going to happen, but I could feel safe enough to go ahead and say, let me contemplate that she might do this, even though I knew she wouldn't, because it just felt safe. And like, I don't know if there's going to be another show that I just feel safe. Like, I know she's not going to screw with these characters. Like, she's not going to kill them. She's going to screw with them. She's going to screw with them a lot, but she's not going to permanently damage them.
You know, and I don't know the show producer, writer, whatever of Gentleman Jack, but that's one that I really enjoyed as well. And it puts you through the friggin' ringer through the whole course of the 8 episodes. But it's, when I think about something else that I've watched in the past, God, it's probably been 2 years now, that I've watched in the past 2 years that I've really, it's still not rising to the level in my heart for Winona Earp and Way Hot, but I found that I really enjoyed Gentleman Jack and the way that was kind of presented to the world. So, I mean, I don't know if any of you, Jill, I know we've talked about it. I don't know if you ever got around to watching it. I don't know if either the other two.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to wait until it's off the air and know that nobody dies.
Well, it's history, Jill. She's dead now. It was 18 something.
Well, but if they die when they're both 80 of old age, that's one thing. Like, if they, one of them gets burned at the stake, I'm going to be like, peace out. I don't need this in my life.
But that's one that I enjoyed. So, if you're willing to take a chance on another one, that's one that I liked.
They better not ruin it. You're putting your reputation on the line there.
I know. Well, and it's funny because I love it, and Lynn didn't like it at all. She watched it and she's like, Lindsey, I don't like this. I'm like, why? And she's like, I don't know. I just didn't like it. And I've watched it like 4 times.
Sometimes it clicks.
Yeah.
You're getting some love from people who like Gentleman Jack.
There we go. I knew it had to be more than just me. Now, there are some shows that I was the only person on this planet that liked, but that's okay.
It's all right. You found your people here.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks for making all the things, Christina. Jeez.
Sorry.
I'm glad you found the show. That's awesome.
I found family. That's what I found, and I've never had that before. So it's just amazing. It's amazing. Wow. I mean, I laugh, like I'm looking at the chat and I'm laughing at all my friends that
I
couldn't have said that 2 months ago. And they make me laugh, they make me cry. They're there when I am crying, they're there when I'm laughing. It's something I've never had before, and it's amazing. And in my heart, I know that's what the cast feels with each other, and I just want it for them more than anything.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to give you a hug.
They're amazing people, and it should be industry standard. Like, just let Emily write everything and just give them all the world, and then give us the world because they're there doing it for us. And yeah.
It's not too much to ask.
It's not a lot to ask. Come on, people. I feel like the world is going backwards and they're the only ones going forwards. And let's do this. Come on.
Do this.
Let's do this. I'm all in. Let's fight. I mean, the one thing about being a newbie is I've got a good plan of doing, I've watched the season like 6 times, like through the whole show, but I'm going to watch it again, and I haven't listened to all the podcasts and things. So I'm just going to live react my little butt off.
There you go.
There you
Try to
go.
watch all of the con panels too.
all the content, because then it gets the hashtags, and sometimes you can't think of things, or if you're in your fields you can't think of things. And I mean, I don't have advertisements to go find right now, so I won't be bugging you with those. But yeah, it gives us lots to do, and you guys are great because you're giving us lots to do, and you're championing it for us, and we're going to be here fighting for you. So
Well, thank you.
Because it's worth it, right? It's worth it. This show gives me hope.
Worth it. It is worth it.
So I'm going to keep hope for the show, because it gives
anything
me
that gives you hope is worth fighting for.
It's worth fighting for.
Yep.
I just keep thinking about the Doc quote now. It's just like, I really think that was such a, when he says, when you find people who, you know, will tolerate you, and the whole thing, just, I think there's no way that wasn't for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what the Earpers have done. And that line gets me every time. And I wouldn't change the note.
Yeah. So it was the best thing I've ever seen in my life, period. So, period. I've watched it every day, multiple times, still cry. It's gonna be that way every time.
It's gonna be that way. Yeah.
I'm a sop to begin with, so I cry at every strong
You
emotion.
didn't stand a chance.
Oh my God. Don't get me angry, because I'll be bawling at you.
Yeah,
I will cry if you yell at me. Seriously, I'll be yelling and crying at the same time.
Thanks for having us on. Or
yeah,
with us, but
thank you. It was me trying to be brave. I'm a shy bird.
On next year.
Akon, I need a ticket.
Yes.
I mean, I'm already in Canada, so let's go.
Let's do it. Sounds good. See you there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christina.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Oh man. It's like every time somebody else comes on, they just bring it even deeper.
Can I tell you a fun story?
Yes.
About Way Hot Wedding. So if those people that have been to cons and have been to Emily had a writing workshop, if Emily ever does a writing workshop at any event you go to her writing workshop. It's amazing. Even for people that if you're just a TV consumer, it's so educational just as a consumer of television. And so she teaches you, like, one of the things that particularly the opening scene, like I can't remember what they call it, the cold open. It starts with one emotional tenor, and then there's a turn, and then it exits with a different emotional tenor, and you also have to generally introduce the supernatural element that's going to happen in that episode. So that's like most scenes, you enter with one emotional feeling, there's a turn, you exit with another emotional feeling. And for the cold open, you also have to introduce the supernatural element. So she said, okay, and then she takes much longer to explain that. But then she gives you a scenario, and you go get together with the people at your table, and you sketch out the opening. And for the cold opening that she had us do, what she's like, here's the situation. Way Hot Wedding Day. Waverly's hiding. Nicole goes to find her. That's it. What's happening? And it was the whole scenario. Like, Waverly's hiding, Nicole goes to find her, and you knew that you had to enter with one emotional feeling, exit with another emotional feeling, and introduce the supernatural element. And I mean, some of the things were just, hilarious. But from Waverly was like, our table started, they wanted to have Waverly was having cold feet, and I was like, absolutely not. Waverly is not having cold feet. No, she's just being traditional. Like, she just doesn't want to be seen on the wedding day. Like, bride shouldn't be seen in her dress on the wedding day, or shouldn't be seen. And they're like, well, then why is Nicole going to find her? And at the time, I was like, Nicole wants a little pre-game, pre-wedding action. Like, she wants to go find Waverly. And so when I saw this episode, I was like, pre-wedding action.
Gotta go fix my hair again.
Yeah. I love that whole thing that she says to Nedley. It took a lot longer to get the barn sex out of my hair, and then she's like, sorry.
Nicole, that is your father. How dare you?
Yeah, poor Nedley. He's like, oh my god.
Can I say that I really enjoyed that Doc called her a formidable woman? To see you marry that formidable woman.
That formidable woman.
Gotta love
For
it.
some reason, that just tickles me.
All right, Alex, you've been waiting for a long time. You want to come on? All right, cool.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Alex.
I'm actually really nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous. You're with friends.
We've been talking about churros. There's no reason to be nervous.
Yeah, right.
Where are you calling from?
Argentina.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually I actually haven't found yet someone from Argentina into the fandom or Twitter or whatever. That's from the fandom, and so I'm feeling like kind of lonely in that sense, because everyone's like from USA or Canada or whatever, so it's like weird.
You haven't got
anyone from Argentina? Hit
Yeah.
up.
If anybody knows, there's a bunch of, I know they're not all from Argentina. Oh, look. Nobody HP says there's a big group.
Oh, okay. I'll look into it.
I'm sure there's people from all.
Somebody send Alex a DM and let her know what the group is from Argentina.
It's really nice to finally meet you guys, because I've seen you in like the Air Square thing for the first time. I actually didn't know what it was, but I knew it was from like an airport thing, and I was like, I'm going to watch it, whatever it is. So I met you guys there, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is incredible. And now I'm following you guys on Twitter, because I actually made a Twitter for tweeting for airport, like to fight and everything on Friday, like last Friday.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
And to see everyone tweet about the episode and everything, so I know it made me really happy.
How long have you been an Erper? How long have you watched the show?
I started watching the show like in November, so I'm like a newbie.
Okay.
Another baby Erper.
Another baby Erper.
Yeah. So
are you like 10? How old are you?
No, I'm actually 20.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are you in university?
Not a literal baby, Jill.
What's that?
Not a literal baby.
Not a literal baby. Just a baby Erper.
How are you finding Twitter so far?
It's really fun. It really makes me feel a lot of things, and it makes me cry, and it makes me feel all the emotions. Like I'm entering Twitter, and I'm just like a big pile of emotions. Like I don't know, it's super weird, but it's also kind of overwhelming. Like I don't know, I'm new, so it's sometimes overwhelming. Like I don't know, I feel like this pressure to fight, and I want to, and sometimes I can't because I'm with college. So sometimes I feel kind of guilty because I can't go and fight and everything. But
anything you do is good.
Yeah, what you can when you can. That's something I think we all struggle with. Is we want to be doing as much as we can all the time.
Yeah. And sometimes you can't. So
yeah, I'm sure everything you're doing is perfect, and the fact that you're here and just started a Twitter is amazing. I love that.
Yeah, I just made it just so I could fight and post a lot of things and meet a lot of you guys, because I don't know, this fandom it's not only just a fandom, like we all say, it's just a family, and it's a community so pretty and so kind and so welcoming. So it really warms my heart.
Oh,
good.
I'm glad to hear that. If you're comfortable putting your Twitter handle in the chat,
okay. Okay.
They will find you. Your people.
They will find you and they will follow you, and not in a way. In a you're a new Erper now way.
Not in a creepy way.
I'm glad. Anyway.
So, how did you feel about the finale then?
Great. Right now, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like crap all weekend up until Wednesday, but now I'm feeling actually kind of great. I just feel a lot of things. At the end of the episode, I was like this, like I didn't know what to feel or to say, so
rushing to Twitter to see what everyone was posting and cry and laugh and everything. I don't know. And there was all these little moments that broke me during the episode. Like I was crying, but these 4 moments, like they broke me. Like the chairs, Natalie and Nicole. And when Tay, like when they speak to us in the episode, like they say that this is home and they're all in and all of those things that that the writers just and Emily and the cast just wants you to know that they are speaking to us. Just made me, I don't know, made me feel a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
That's been my favorite part about season 4 so far, I think, is just like the little fandom things they throw back in. Like they're saying, we see you and
yes. And this is something I have never seen in any other fandom before, like Emily and the cast that care so much about us as much as they care about the show and their characters and everything. I mean, they're really giving us so much. So I don't know, I just want to give them back a little of what they are giving us all this time. I don't know.
No, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us feel like that too, where it's just, and I think the reason that this fandom is the way it is because the tone that they set for everyone else. Because if they didn't give a shit about us, why would we give a shit about the show? You know what I mean? It's
right.
Like they foster that sense of community, and then we just take it and we really ran with
it. Absolutely. It's just like a big machine of kindness and welcoming and everything. Like one person does something with kindness and love, and we are just like, okay, we're going to give it back to you, and you're giving it back to us, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, never ending circle.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's saying yeah, so many boops this season. Well, thanks for coming on with us, Alex. I'm so glad you found the show and that you joined Twitter. And please put your Twitter handle in the chat.
Okay, I will right when I finish this because I am having the chat in my phone. So.
And then in 24 hours,
knows
how to multitask. All these people that find
you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really nervous still, so I'm kind of like. I mean, it's getting hard to like talk and everything, but
you're doing
really happy.
You did great.
And now you have 100 friends.
Now you have exactly.
Thank you.
Thanks,
good luck with your studies.
Thank you. Good luck with your life, everything in your life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aww. I love the baby Earpers. They're amazing. All right. Maggie, you have also been waiting a long time. Are you good? All right.
Hey, Maggie.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Yes. Yep. Look at this beautiful, like, glory hole lighting you have going on.
Yes, listen, I got to get in the mood for this. Like, this is something deep. So, gotta get in my mojo ready. And hey, I listened that this is gonna be something like we're gonna do weekly because I need my herb fix. You know that, right?
We are making no promises at this exact moment in time, but I would not be opposed.
Well, actually, yeah, I mean, come on, like at their time is really, really hard, man. Like herb have to be like every minute, like seriously.
Never stop burping.
Never stop burping.
Preach, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to say to Alex, we do have the Latino community. Actually, she was like earlier, like the big group of 200 plus people. Like we're just Spanish speakers, and it's not. So just hit it, and we'll add you. It's crazy, really, really crazy, man.
There you go.
So you're one of the 200 then.
Yeah. Actually, I thought that there was nobody from Colombia, but actually I found many people there. Like, and we are all over South America, even from Spain. Like, it's great. Like, not because it's great having you, but it's completely different when it's different language. Sometimes the language barrier it's a little bit hard. I do have another group. They're amazing, but most of them they're English speaker. So say the jokes and everything, just the cultural thing. It's amazing. So if you want to get it, we got Latinos like from all over.
That's amazing.
Do you have people? Do you know if they're when you from Argentina? That's where Alex was.
Yeah, yeah. There are actually many. Yeah, I can't remember like 7 that they're the ones that are always talking. Like there's many people that just lurk around and not say anything, but there's like the regular ones that we talk. But it's like 2,000. Like you missing like a couple of hours because you're working, and then it's like 2006. Oh no, I'm not reading that.
Just try and get the gist of it from the last couple and move on.
yeah, definitely. Like if somebody wants to tell me a quick like what do you call it? Forgot the name. Yeah, like yeah, like somebody will say, yeah, basically this and this. Okay, I'm caught up. Let's move on.
Don't need to read the 2,000 messages I read.
Yeah. No need.
When did you guys start that chat? That sounds like it took some time to build that together.
Well, actually, I'm pretty recent to that Latino. As I say, I didn't know anyone before. I've been longer on the other chat, and we had like all over, like Europe, Asia, US, Canada, like from all over. And I joined like maybe a couple months ago or less. But I heard they have it like for 2 years or so. Like they're been a long time.
Wow. So they've just been building and building. I didn't even know you could have 200 people in a WhatsApp group. You're really testing bounds there.
Yeah, and believe me, we had to like, well, for personally, I have to close the like saving images because one time they crashed my phone. They start sending like stickers and photos. Of course, I love it. Like my whole phone was like way hot related. I was like, yes, and then my phone crashed. And I was like, no.
Was too hot for your phone. Too way hot for your
phone. I mean, come on.
Perfect. That's awesome. So you seem like you're in good spirits then. You're hanging in there okay?
To be honest with you, I think I'm in denial. Like, I really don't want to believe it. And right now, I'm just hanging there, like, recruiting people. Like, people that is not air related. Like, people from my old job, like, from cruise. Well, I used to work on cruise ships. So all the people that have nothing to do with air, hey, so listen, now that you're not doing anything, let me introduce you to this. Hey, I have worked, like, I have at least 5 more people, like, different, like, straight guys, like, gay guys, like, from all over the spectrum, like, you can imagine it. It's awesome. It's like, at least if I get more people, maybe they will help us and continue with doing it, because I love the last episode, but I don't want it to be the last one. So like, I'm just not gonna think about that at all.
That's it. I'm with you there. And I think, like, you could say, having 5 more people watch the show doesn't make a difference. But seeing how many people found the show in the past 6 months is insane. And they've got a full tank of fight in them. And I love that. like the energy that they bring to this fight compared to, the last one was, kind of grueling. And this one feels more fun in a way, I think, and like a little more playful and hopeful. And I really love that. So I'm definitely all about recruiting the new Earpers.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's my way of dealing with this whole crying. Not gonna say that I cried. Might have been tequila involved or so, or maybe not enough tequila. So
love that. Well, thanks for waiting so long for us to get you on. I'm sorry. It's just every time somebody comes on, it's like, wanna hold on. I want to talk.
Hey, I'm okay if that means that we're doing this weekly, right? Like, I got it on camera right now.
Not a binding contract, lawyers. Do not take this as a binding contract. We'll consider it. Or maybe we can pass the torch around and different people can host every week.
There you go.
But that would be fun.
That will be cool. Also for people all over the world, like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think we, at least in my mind, I would like to do one again, maybe on a Saturday afternoon or something when people overseas aren't up until 5 a.m. watching.
Yeah.
Maybe next week. We'll see.
My schedule is wide open.
All right, sign yourself up.
Although I'm not sure anybody wants to listen to me talk for 2 hours, but my schedule's open, so
I'll be here if you do.
Hey, just send the link. I can assure you there's somebody somewhere around the world that's gonna do that. Like for sure.
You've got
somebody
200 people on standby just on your own, so
There you go.
yeah. All right, thanks, Maggie.
Thank you guys. I appreciate all you what you do for us.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, I've been hydrating, trying to offset the effects of the vaccine. So I'm gonna just hop off for a second. But before I do, I'm gonna bring Lindsey in. Another Lindsey. There we go. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, Lindsey.
Hey.
Where are you joining us from?
Florida.
All right.
Yeah. I thought it was cool that you guys talk about the X-Files because that was my other like major show that I was obsessed with.
You have joined at the exact correct time in this broadcast.
The two of us are being files.
I saw Lindsey say something about X-Files one time on Twitter, and then Jill said something about X-Files, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are my people, because X-Files was like my
X-Files is like the OG right there.
And
Yeah.
Scully is the like person responsible for my gayness. I have like total like Scully is Mecca. So I really enjoyed season 2. Nicole.
Oh yeah.
And season 3, Nicole. Yeah.
Oh, with the short hair, you mean?
With the short hair, yep. Yeah, there's some definite
With the Scully hair. Yeah.
And I believe that Jill and I maybe had this conversation about when she was in the hospital bed and she had the cut over her eye. I believe that maybe we talked about how it reminded me of Scully and all the times that she got that tiny little cut above her eye and she was like wounded.
Oh yeah. Always. I know. Shot in the stomach with a cut in her eye. Yeah.
Yep. And that's when you knew it was serious. When there was the little cut, you knew, oh, it's serious.
Oh yeah. Like you gotta, let's calm down. Scully's hurt.
Scully's got a cut. Slow your roll.
Stop. Pause the show. I need to collect myself.
I need a moment.
So yeah, really cool that that's going on too. That you guys are X-Files fans, and I got really obsessed with Winona Earp. So
when did you start watching?
Like December.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Another baby Earp.
Another one. Yeah. I typed in lesbians in Netflix because I was bored.
I came back at the right time.
The whole first episode, I was waiting for Winona Earp to like make out with a girl.
I was faster.
I just see like
lesbians.
Like Winona with like this big glowing gun, had no idea what was going on. And I was like, well, I'll just wait. I'll wait for her to kiss a girl. And then like Nicole Hott comes in and you're like, oh, that's the
there it is.
There she is.
There it is.
It's not Winona.
The big neon sign that said lesbian.
Lesbian. Like the confidence, you're just like, oh, this girl. That's the one.
I mean, she got that much swag. She must be gay.
Man.
There might as well have been a sign above that door when she leaned against it.
But with the card ready, just like throwing it on there on the bar, like, yeah, baby. I'm Nicole Hott.
Yeah, I actually had, there was a friend of mine that I watched. She and I talked about Rizzoli and Isles. We were watching because that had just ended, I think. And she said, I know you like X-Files. There's this new show coming on Sci-Fi. It's called Winona Earp. I think maybe you'll like it. And so I recorded the first episode, and she, after the first episode aired, she's like, really, Jill, I think you're gonna like this show. Like it's kind of supernatural. I know you really like the X-Files. We can hear you typing, Lindsey, by the way.
That's not me.
Not me.
Interesting. It's like
I'll mute everyone until we find the source. It's not Lindsey. Jill, is it you? No, I think it's the other Lindsay. Is it me?
Just something in the background. It's just
I'm
something
on
in the
film.
background. Yeah.
It was me, but nothing's moving. I'll mute myself.
Interesting. So then after the first episode, she's like, "No, really, Jill, you should watch it." Yeah. And then after the second episode, she just messaged me. She's like, "Jill, you need to watch
I
the
promise
show."
you.
I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're on about, but fine, I'll watch it.
I like legit sat up on my couch. I was laying on my couch and Nicole walks in and I sat up and I'm like, this just got more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been asked what beer I'm drinking. It's a shock top. My favorite beers are Belgian ales. I like Blue Moon best. They were out of Blue Moon.
I don't know where that sound is coming from. I'm sorry, guys.
Can nobody else hear?
I can hear it. Yeah. It's just something in the background.
It might.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Oh, it might be your fish tank? Yeah, it might be your fish tank.
Yeah, I think that's what it is because I muted you to sound it.
Sorry, I need to.
That's so weird.
Zen.
Now that I know it's not somebody typing, I'm okay.
If Lindsay was typing, Jill would have been.
I'd be like, Lindsay.
Lindsay got to go.
I made Jill go into my room during ERP Square because she kept like taking phone calls to be like, okay, when are we going live? When are we doing this? Typing. I was like, Jill, they can hear you. You got to get out of here.
You gotta leave.
You gotta leave.
So what was your favorite part of the season 4 finale? Regale us with your tale.
What's that?
Did you have a favorite?
Sorry.
Did you have a favorite part of the finale, of the season 4 finale? Can you not hear me? Am I
all
muted,
of
Kayla?
it. I thought it was perfect. I mean, I was sad that it seemed so final, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's if it is final, I think it was a great way to end it because, you know, you can just think about, you know, Waverly and Nicole just being married and, you know, Doc and Winona out there having adventures. Like, that's a good place to, you know, go back to when you're feeling sad about it.
Yeah.
But
And I like thinking about it, you know, where Emily's saying she did it just in case.
yes.
It's not that she was trying to wind things down or that she doesn't think there's not more to tell. It's just that we fought so hard for this season and she wasn't going to leave us hanging.
Right.
Yes.
So I just try and appreciate that because it does feel like a finale, but there's so much we don't know and so much we want to see. Like Nicole bouncing off the triangle force field.
Right.
So, by the way, we got lots of churro gifts in our timelines right now, just FYI.
Oh, God. I've been staying off the Twitters for now, but it'll be fun to come back to you. Thanks, God.
It was that, you know, double-sided churro thing.
I'm sorry, I missed that one.
That was a comment.
That was a comment, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said it.
I read the comment, yes.
I was going to say, that was not me.
That kind of went downhill pretty quickly.
Oh, okay. I liked it.
So where are they going to honeymoon? What is there going to be the honeymoon? Somebody said they deserve a honeymoon. Where are they going to honeymoon? They can't leave.
Think of the big city.
I think they're going to skinny dip in the pond out back. There's nobody around.
I feel like they could find a good place.
What I want to know is where are all of my They're Alone on the Homestead for this honeymoon fanfic that have not shown up yet?
Shown up, right?
It has been a week, fanfic
The fic writers are in mourning too, you guys. They need to process. They need to maybe make it 50,000 plus words. They need time.
They need time. They need time to write a novel.
If we're going to have some really good alone time this month, I want it to be 50,000 words long.
I'm not reading anything less. I'm not.
I just want them to make it to the bed. Poor gals.
My back really thinks that, you know, they have got to make it to a bed at some point.
I mean,
like, the barn floor, like stairs, the kitchen floor, like, sure. The floor of the barn?
I am going to use a statement that I said to Jill about another fanfic that we read. That is just unsanitary.
No follow-up questions. No follow-up questions.
I mean, I'm just,
yeah.
Her knees didn't hurt after a while. So I don't know.
I feel like Waverly is such a planner that she would have foreseen this happening, and she would have gone and cleaned up.
Put some hay down.
Just in case it ended up on the barn floor.
Sprayed it. Sprayed it with a little bit of that Tide antibacterial spray just in case.
Swept it. Put on a new rug, maybe. Just
pretty little flowers all in the hay, like just Waverly.
Air freshener spritz.
I will hand it to them. They did. They were next to Wynona's bed and not in it, and I think Winona would have appreciated that. Did Jeremy appreciate Waverly grabbing his face? Probably not.
I wonder. I had a lot of questions about that.
A lot of people had a lot of questions about that.
I have in my head what I think a reasonable answer is, but that is Homestead Hangout After Dark material. We will.
I thought that she kissed him, and I looked at my wife, and she looked at me like, she just kissed Jeremy because what's happening? And then he just sat there while Nicole put her underwear back on, and you're just like, what is happening?
He has walked in on this exact thing just too many times to give a shit. He's like, nobody wants to see it, and then he just sits down and says,
I think Jeremy just at this point, up until now, I mean, he said it the episode before, Jeremy at this point is like, I'm not getting any, so I need to have all of you people getting some, and just give me these moments.
I guess he just wanted to bask in the afterglow.
He is so single, and he needs this now.
That's a little too close to basking in the afterglow. I mean,
well, that's my point. Jeremy, dude.
Oh my gosh! Yep, we hit 11 o'clock every time the hour strikes. It just
goes off the rails.
Goes off the cliff. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, this has been fun.
Or we'll be in Twitter jail.
Oh, this video is gonna get taken off of YouTube. I can feel it. Well, thanks for joining, Lindsey. Everyone in the chat is saying how you look like Emily Andress, so I would take that compliment.
Dude, I wish. Oh my god. Yeah. I did get a one-on-one chat with her. I won it. The little contest.
Nice.
And I didn't talk at all. She kept trying, and I was just like, uh-huh. And then I just blurted out, I love you. It was the weirdest, it was like slow motion, like, I love you. And then I panicked.
Please tell me that was one of the cons where they had the recorded one-on-ones.
Did they record it?
I don't know what happened. I have no idea. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. I had all these questions, and then it was like when Ralphie met Santa on that movie, the Christmas movie, and he's just kind of like, yeah. I don't know if you know that movie, A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah.
He was like meeting Santa. Sexy Santa. And she had a Viking hat on, and it threw me. You look like a Viking. She talked, and I nodded and said, I love you, and then I just got off the phone. I came out to my wife in tears. I'm like, she at least said that she loves me too, so I think that means she really does. It was a horrible experience. I was so bad. I was the uncool, the most horrible. I don't know.
I love hearing first time meeting stories because we're all such idiots.
Will says the worst things to Cat Bro.
I see here. I'm still an idiot. I've met her I don't know how many times and I still say the stupidest things to her.
I feel like she
the
would
whole
say
story is
hello
you
and
being
I would
like,
just
and she
throw up.
looked like a Viking.
What?
When Emily had the Viking hat on.
She had the Viking hat on.
Oh,
and
I have a
thrown.
Oh. Why do they make us such idiots? Oh my goodness.
I know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that's my. I met her. Sure she,
Everyone's
sure she remembers.
I made an impression. It's all good.
She's getting called a Santa.
Everybody go flood Emily with Santa memes.
Santa.
Oh my God! I said she looked like sexy Santa.
Fran, if you're still here, can you Photoshop a Viking hat on a sexy Santa, please?
I can't believe I did it.
It's all right. It's all right. There's only 100 of your closest friends here. We won't tell anyone.
Totally normal thing to say. So
Somebody, when you get off, people are asking what your handle is on Twitter.
Orphan Whack.
Oh,
Orphan Whack.
Oh, that's you. Okay. Sorry, I got excited.
Orphan Whack. Yeah. Because when Winona said, take a Midol and a nap, Orphan Whack, I lost it.
There you go.
Like, oh my gosh, hilarious.
My Twitter handle was born.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Well, thank you.
That's fun. Thank you. Went from crying to laugh crying, so we're in progress.
I can't do the crying thing. No, not anymore. Not anymore. Not
anymore.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Lindsey. We'll find you on Twitter and send you some beautiful memes.
Cool. Thanks so much.
See ya. Oh my God. Nancy, I'm going to bring you on because watching you crack up at everything is just
so back here.
How do you follow that act, huh? What do you
I completely cannot. I'm not as funny as that at all.
Oh man.
Wow.
It's better than following churros and realizing that neither one of you realized what Lindsey was going to say. And I was completely watch the video and listen to you two going, yeah, churros.
They walked right into it. I could not say it.
I know. I was thinking it. Anyone who sees watch the video, you'll die laughing. Is there a single Erper out there that does not have a story where they met one of the cast and were just like,
probably not.
There's definitely not, but I think just Jill has a special time when she looks at Kat and just
words come out.
Can you tell the story, Jill?
So I've said some really stupid things to her, but what I'm most ashamed of is the photo op that it was with the Unkillable Gay Squad. And I had this beautiful rainbow shirt that just said geek, and it was in rainbow. And I was like, I really want to be in between Dom and Varun. And I had the plan. I was like, I'm going to be in front of you because you're two of my favorite rainbow geeks. Like that was my setup for this photo op. And I didn't have a plan for Kat, it turns out. So I got there and I said, I want to stand between Dom and Varun because you're my favorite rainbow geeks. And then I was like, Kat, you can stand behind us.
You can do whatever.
That's not the story I wanted you to tell.
No, that's not the one.
The stupidest thing I've said.
Yeah.
The stupidest thing I've ever said to Kat was at Expo. It was in New Orleans. And to my credit.
No.
Yes. So, to be honest, I had dislocated my shoulder that morning.
What else is new, Jill?
You were in a sling.
You at a con, you're like, oh, I just popped my
You
shoulder.
were in a sling.
I had dislocated my shoulder. That's
You were wearing a sling.
I had it popped back in, and I had to walk to the CVS to get a sling because I didn't have a sling and I needed a sling. So I walked to the CVS like a mile in each direction, and
I could have made one from a pillowcase for you, babe. Just saying for the future.
So, and I got back to the hotel, and I mean, I had to go and change my shirt because I was soaked through my shirt. It was just, I mean, it's hot and humid there. And then so I changed my shirt and I was all good, and I was trying to, you know, get myself collected. And I had an autograph with Kat, and I got up to the autograph table, and we were talking, and she's coming around the table because we were getting a selfie, and she's like, come, let me give you a hug. And I said, okay, but I'm sorry, but I'm all wet and nasty right now. And she said, and to her credit, she just went, well, that sounds sexy. And I'm like, I want the ground to open up and me to fall right through it.
What a Catherine thing to say. That sounds sexy.
She's just like, okay. Just like, and I'm leaving. I'm never coming back. I'm never going to look at you again.
If anyone has ever seen Jill and I interact on Twitter, it's usually me going, oh, sorry, were you all wet and nasty?
So, yes, if you ever hear Kayla or anybody say, were you wet and nasty? That's because that's something I actually came out of my mouth to Kat Burrell. I apologize that I was all wet.
I think if we end up doing this more than just this week, we should have a stupid thing Jill said to Kat.
There are more.
Bonus points.
One of your segments.
Stupid things you've said to Ray.
You said stupid things to Ray. Not as many, but
he's so nice. What could you say that's me? Like, he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, but Jill finds a way to say. We'll save the New York Comic Con story for another time.
Fair.
I don't know what happens when I get in front of her. I just say.
It's like a blackout, and words just come out.
As I also told people, like when I said I'm all wet and nasty, what I meant was I'm all sweaty and gross, but it came out wet and nasty. Like I had a plan in my head to make it sound okay.
Because Freud was not entirely wrong, is what you're saying.
It was they were both.
It was a Freudian slip. I mean,
yeah.
He might have been a perv who liked his mother too much, but still, he wasn't entirely wrong.
Someone wants me to tease what you said to Ray. The story I have in mind specifically is basically when Kat had her hair in those beautiful poodle ringlets.
I want to touch the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was standing next to you and Ray, and you 100% said this to him.
I blocked that out probably because I was looking at Kat, and nothing is in my. I'm looking.
I'm so glad I was there and can tell this story then because it happened. Oh wait, fuck it, I'll tell it now.
Yeah, you got it now.
So the Mel, Kat, Dom, and Emily were on the red carpet taking photos with fans, and they had like a bunch of donuts out or something. So people were like hanging around and eating donuts afterwards. And Ray's standing there just kind of like chatting with people, like watching them get their pictures taken. And Jill goes up and says hi and starts talking to him. I'm standing next to Jill, and she goes, "So Ray, how do we feel about the hair?" He was like, "I think it's great, try new things, do things." And Jill just looks at him and goes, "I don't like it."
I believe I said it, but I don't remember.
Literally,
do you actually dislike it?
I do. I dislike it.
She looked at Ray, and she looked at Kat, and she looked back at him. "I don't like it." And then she told Kat later that it wasn't her thing.
No. So this is how that story went. Everybody says I told Kat that I hated her hair. That is not true. What happened? I went to Kat and I said, "I'm not sure how I feel about this."
That's better.
She's female. She knew that meant you didn't like it. She could take it though.
It came up. It was Regis that came up and said, "I really love your hair." And Kat goes, "Thanks, Jill hates it."
See? She's female. She understood what that meant. You didn't have to be blunt.
Sorry, we'll leave stories because Jill says a lot of crazy things, but I had to share that one because it was so funny. I don't like it.
That's I said, I don't remember that, but I totally believe I said it. I totally believe I said it.
100%. 100%.
I don't think it would even hurt her feelings.
No.
You know, she knows you like her.
Yeah. I thought it looked great the next day when they posted pictures of them.
Yeah, it was a little more relaxed.
I thought it looked great, but I like anything that looks tactile. So I think I would have trouble being near her without touching it. I mean, I did have to ask Dom if I could touch her velour dress. I did. The beautiful velour secondhand dress that with the like maroony, burgundy, I don't know what, but I couldn't resist. She's like, okay.
Of course, Dom would. Dom's the kind of person, like, I have this specific memory of walking up to her autograph table and she being like, oh, hey, babe, so good to see you. So glad you're here. Do you want a snack? And like just offering me a packet of whatever she was eating. I was like, okay, what are we doing? And then her and I both have like nuts in our teeth when in our selfie. Like, perfect. Nice. Love it.
So wrong. You know, I was watching this earlier and thinking, I totally want to see the Earp fandom do Winona Earp in sock puppet. I want to see 60 seconds max, because I don't want to see you that much. But, you know, like a little 60-minute video from all the Earpers enacting their favorite scene in sock puppets, because I would like it.
We could probably make that happen.
Nothing wrong with that.
Why not? It would be hilarious. This is why I don't feel like it's over, because we have had more no new episode Earp time than we have had actual new episode Earp time. Absolutely. By a mile. And it hasn't stopped us from having Earp. So, and I'm not hesitant to get all these new Earp, like I'm more than going out and trying to get people to start watching. Because even if you thought, what?
Sorry, somebody in the comments at the sock puppet stair scene.
Oh God.
And would you not love that? I would love that. People should just humor me.
In little nylons.
But with sounds. Make them Spanish television sounds, you know, emphatic.
We've gone off the deep end, guys.
We are off.
But you would love it. It would be a great thing.
I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it.
Now I completely don't know what I was thinking before when I was trying to compliment. Oh, yes, we have had so much more non-new Earp. And if you have somebody you want to tell them to watch Earp, you don't hesitate. Even if you thought that this was actually, perhaps, maybe, might be the end, it would still be something you would tell them they have to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's still something that we need new Earpers to come and enjoy this wonderful thing that we can show off. Because it's fabulous. And plus, I think there's a movie in the works from the way Emily talks. That's just my interpretation. But
I talk about that movie a lot.
She talks about the movie a lot. And you don't need a distributor for a movie.
I don't think one way or another, I don't think we've seen the last Earp. If we don't get a new season, if there is a movie, I don't think it's, because she's also said about the movie to come revisit it several years. Like, so I don't think it's going to happen. Like, if there's a movie, it's not going to happen immediately. But
I'll just
take that long to get it rolling anyway.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they should just film it now because they got the set. So.
Yeah.
They don't have to rebuild it.
That beautiful building over the water.
No, we destroyed that building.
Well, at least they didn't have to winterize the barn, because they keep holding winter scenes in a barn where you can see through the wall.
I know.
I'm just saying, as somebody from the North Country.
Does anybody know where that was considered an outdoor set? That's why they had so much. So, like, how is that an outdoor set, though? Is it like, it's not actually.
You can see through the walls.
You have a barn that they've built in studio before, but like, you can tell when they're in the real one.
So they were filming
because of the daylight.
Yeah. Because I remember I asked Emily with 407, I was like, why when Waverly came back was Nicole like on Winona's bed? Like, that was super weird. Why was she in the barn? And she was like, I don't know. And she was like, oh, wait, it's because the barn's an outdoor set and they have to have like a certain ratio or something. So they're definitely just outside.
outside.
Well,
most
and
of
if
the
you
time.
think back to season, what is it, 2-1, where the two of them are in the barn and it was so
Shivering their ass
cold, that they were in the legit barn out there.
Yeah.
Out
And
there.
Winona had an inside bed where she was, half out of her shirt, walking around in her bra for us. That was an inside bed. So I thought the barn bed was Doc's. You kept calling it Winona's.
Inside bed.
Then Rachel
What?
took her inside bed.
Ah. I didn't even think that through.
Yeah.
But apparently Winona just sleeps in her underwear out in the barn.
She has some
blanket
serious
back with Doc, and it's like, girl.
She has some seriously sexy underwear that she sleeps in. I'm just saying.
It doesn't look comfortable. Oh, sorry.
I mean, apparently we're just not worried about wanderers coming up to the barn if we're just out there sleeping in very little things. I don't know.
Well, in what episode exactly does she have any body shame? That's part of the feminism of this show. There's no body shame.
No, I'm just feeling like, why are we not afraid that some rando is just going to walk up in your barn while you're sleeping?
That's why she's got a pistol under her pillow.
Because it's the country.
Homestead. Like, at least the weekends are going to be,
there really aren't randos in the country. When you live 5 miles from the nearest person, I don't have curtains. I don't have any curtains because there's no people.
I don't have curtains either, but there's a lot of people.
Aren't you like how many stories up?
19.
Yeah, so unless you have a 19-story tall peeper, there's no peepers.
I mean, I
can keep on her neighbors.
Yeah, Jill people watches
Ball
from my
dancing
house.
neighbors, the ballroom dancing neighbors she sees.
Yeah, there's
that's why you own the telescope. I got it. That was in that movie.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that barn would be too cold for her to live in the winter, but that's just me.
Well, so do I, because the walls are see-through.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, now it has no door. But barns aren't warm enough unless you have 200 cows in them, and that's actually where the heater is.
Then you have other issues to worry about.
Well, true.
I just saw what's been posted to Twitter.
Is it not exactly what I said?
Heidi.
I told you.
Guys, I'm having a rough day.
But being hilarious is good. It's starting.
Oh my god.
All of the fandom needed you to be funny in this moment. You rose to the occasion.
I cannot.
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go to the subway platform tomorrow just to grab a churro and show you what they look like.
I ate street food in Cambodia, and I don't think I would eat a churro in a New York City subway.
They are plastic
At least
wrap.
it's fried. I mean,
they have plastic wrap. So basically, they're getting them at a 7-Eleven and just rolling them to the station.
The number of churros they have on these carts is truly astounding. Like, they could never sell that many in a day.
They must. If they push them around, they must sell them.
Yeah.
Or they're selling something else. Like, is there other stuff under the churros? I mean, it's New York City.
Check under the churro.
Can I have the $50 churro? Is that what it is?
How did I never know this was like a drug cover-up?
I don't know.
You just cracked the whole code. I'm just sitting here like,
a question.
have a lot of churros.
These are gifted. You go up and say one of these and you want a churro, or one of these and you want a little.
Yes.
I'm putting my hand. Oh, that muscle soreness is kicking in. I'm keeping my hands out of frame.
Jill, you're next with the gesture you just made.
I cannot hold it together anymore.
Someone said, goes to buy a churro, walks away with heroin.
Oh, that's cheaper.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
Well, we've got some other crazies waiting in the queue here. But thanks for making this fun.
Thanks, Nancy.
Bye. Oh my
I'm just gonna
gosh.
keep the glasses off at this point.
No, it's about to be gloves off because the next people I see in the queue are the lawyers. So it's about to all happen.
Oh boy.
I think you're both muted.
What's up?
The cameras, come on!
I am JJ. I am both Top Shelf Law and Not in Fraud. Plot twist. It's only one person.
Yeah,
I have 2 computers and
one person, 2 computers. I'm just convinced that they're all the same person. Apparently there are 3 of them, but I don't buy it.
no, it's just one. We actually you were right the first time. It's just me.
Awesome. Love
Yeah.
that for me.
Yeah.
What happens if I unmute Danielle though? Is it going to be an echo of everything you say?
No, I've got the sound off over on the other one.
Oh, sure.
You know how we do.
Yeah. You said you were going to bring your A game to this thing, and
I've got the A game.
Weird place.
I've got the A game. Bring it on.
Is it really just you?
It's totally just me. Yeah, I've had you all the time, man. Yes. You don't believe me?
Should I take Danielle off, or is she not joining?
I am Danielle. It's my middle name.
It's too late for this.
This is an intricate prank. Oh, they all planned.
Hello.
I was ready to be like, wow, I feel stupid.
No, it's me that's stupid. I was like, all 3 of you are the same person.
We're
3 people.
Yes.
We're 3 people, in fact.
Yeah. So I'm JJ.
I'm Kayla. I'm Danielle.
Hey.
Hi, friends.
Hi, guys.
So regale us of your tale of Twitter jail.
Yes.
We're deaf.
I don't even know. So I can't remember exactly what the tweet said, but it was something about don't be afraid to jump off the cliff, IMDb, because you might just fly. And I woke up this morning and Twitter notified me. They were like, you've violated Twitter's rules and regulations. You are now, some of your, features are disabled.
Yeah.
So we couldn't tweet, we couldn't retweet, we couldn't like.
We couldn't even look.
We could only DM you guys for a little bit, and then that stopped working.
Yeah,
too.
and then they totally shut it off. Mm-hmm. So I woke up to this group text from the 2 of them, like, oh my God, we're in Twitter jail. And I'm like, what did you do?
Like, I was quoting a love monologue. That's what I was doing.
And so then I went and looked. I have access to the email account, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess I can see how that, like, algorithm would like be like snipe that and be like, not so much.
There are so many worse things that are said on Twitter. I mean,
know. Exactly. Well, someone quoted that exact thing
earlier today, and they were fine.
It's like, here, I'll pull up the original tweet because I still have it.
Do you? I wonder if it's because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
yeah.
directed it at IMDb. They're like threatening language.
Yeah. I've got the scathing email. All right, here we go. All right, this is what we tweeted. Don't be scared. I am DBTV. Erpers will treat you with nothing but kindness, love, and respect.
Trash. Yeah. Ban them.
Trash. Pure trash. Go ahead and jump off the cliff. ... You might just fly, winky face.
Okay, go ahead and jump off the cliff.
That, to be fair, you should have known. That's not even the line.
Yeah, that's pretty
right?
That's lame.
That's lame to get blocked for that.
Terrible. For 12 hours.
Yeah.
It was eternity.
It would have been worse, though.
Did you have to delete your tweet?
Months ago, and 12 hours is a long time.
Well,
It
shoot,
is.
Twitter was down for 3 minutes. Like, at
Yeah.
9:30, that was forever.
Right after we got back on.
Right?
I was like, you did this. I literally texted them. I was like, this is your doing, your fault.
Twitter was like, yeah, you guys thought you were back.
Is this your fault? And I was, no, sorry.
Well, okay, so all right, so the email to us says like we violated the rules against promoting or encouraging suicide or self-harm. So yeah, and then so it goes on. I'm just going to read you the whole thing. You may not promote or encourage suicide or self-harm. When we receive reports that a person is threatening suicide or self-harm, we may take a number of steps to assist them, such as reaching out to that person and providing resources such as contact information for our mental health partners. If you are having thoughts of self-harm, suicide, or depression, we encourage you to please reach out to someone and request help. Our Safety Center has a list of resources you can consult for a variety of reasons, including depression, loneliness, substance abuse, illness, relationship problems, and economic problems. and then they give you a link to it. But
that's awesome.
So I was like, wow, that's really cool that they actually do monitor it, because I've seen so many tweets where I'm like, God, like, you know, what do you do? Like, you see this, but Twitter's like grabbing them. So I was like, okay, kudos to Twitter for being good humans and seeing something like this and offering people assistance. So, I mean, once you kind of read into it, you're like, all right, that's fine. We needed a vacation.
But we were tweeting at like rippers, and they knew what we were talking about.
Yeah, and but we spent the day in the cabin. It was great, so it was fine.
What's Jolene?
I was
Everyone's in the cabin.
Fran was outside.
Fran
was outside. Fran is always outside.
But you guys are back now. You're back in action. So
it was so sad that we could not tweet at all today.
Oh no,
we're just
back onto Twitter, and then like she comes over and she's like starts yelling at me like, check your Twitter, is it working? I'm like, she's like, my Twitter stopped working. I was like, let me look. And then she's like, I'm like, mine's not working. And then Danielle texts and she's like, mine's not working either. And Kayla's like, okay, we're fine.
Can I say one thing about these two though?
Addiction.
Yes. They're actually the softest, kindest people ever, because I got my second vaccination a couple of days ago, and they sent me like a care package with soup.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
I said, so is mine on the way?
Yeah. Super
They may torture you, but they're good people.
Thank you. You're also good people, so don't like.
That's true.
Yeah.
She don't ruin my rep.
Us an ERP care package for the last episode.
Yeah.
Aww. What was in it?
Coffee cups.
Yes.
Caramels.
Espresso beans.
Candles. Something. Lotion. I don't know. Just like a care package. Wasn't that crazy.
Well, there's like a coloring book kind of adult activity book. Yeah.
Aww. And then we have our chickens.
Oh, the chicken. Thank you for the chicken. My chicken's all in.
I'm sorry, what?
The inflatable chicken.
You go get it.
Oh, mine's downstairs. I won't get it, but I'll take a picture of it later.
There's this beautiful chicken. Rochester chicken.
A few Thanksgivings ago, my friend Kelly and I spent Thanksgiving in Iceland, and the place that we were staying had a rooftop hot tub. Nice. And nobody else was ever there. So we would just like kind of go up there and like have drinks before dinner and then go out to dinner. But we had one of those because it looked like an inflatable turkey. And that was like our Thanksgiving celebration. We would get in the hot tub with an inflatable turkey. People would come up and look at us and just go back downstairs.
Like,
oh my God. Everything's fine.
We're just going to leave you alone.
Nothing to see.
We don't want any part of this.
All right, so which of you are going to kick that one?
It's when the Icelanders are like, this is a little too risky for us. We'll be downstairs.
We're going to close on that turkey.
We're not into that.
Who's going to kick the inflatables? Who's the better kicker? The people want to see you kick that chicken.
AJ. Kayla.
I'm. They're not going to
me too. I would say you'd be the better kicker.
Well, yeah.
Is it safe?
Is it safe?
I don't
Why would it possibly hurt?
Drop kick like.
Oh yeah, you
can see it. We can see it. Go for it.
It landed right back in your lap.
That was
well done. That is like, Cole, you all right, bro?
I was very nervous.
The poor cats are like,
it's wide left.
Wide left, yeah.
It's definitely wide left, yeah. Not right.
Oh my gosh. This is what happens on Hangout After Dark.
100%.
Heidi just said GIF.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't want to see
all you're about to get
seriously though.
Oh God.
Oh, it's happening.
But how are you guys doing for real outside of the Twitter bannings and things like that?
I'm doing pretty well, I think. All things considered. I've cried 15 times, which is good.
Yeah.
Like today or in the past week?
No, in the week.
Past week.
Okay. You guys are severely underestimating me. If you think that's not a reasonable per day quota.
Kayla and I are actually like, not you, but Kayla, top shelf Kayla, and I are like the same person. Like, I think we process things very similarly. So we've been in and out, but very hopeful after the crying.
Yes, agreed. I just was so grateful. I mean, we talked about it a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I think I struggled a lot. I was sad initially, like really overwhelmingly sad. Like I had a really difficult time processing, but now I feel really, really grateful that I got to see something like that on television.
Yes.
And I come away from all of it feeling extremely hopeful about the entire situation.
I also, yeah, I mean, I think the thing that really stuck with me is like, think about all the kids that are going to watch this.
Yeah.
And also straight kids, right? Like, that's so cool.
Yes.
That's something like that. And like, I think that's just going to make a huge difference, because if you see something like that, there's no way you can't think it's normal and you can't be rooting for them. So I don't know. That's like what stuck with me the most.
Absolutely. That's like my brother watched Schitt's Creek a few months ago, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I love David and Patrick. They're amazing." And I was like, "You like the games?" And so I like came out to him because I didn't know that he would have reacted that way to something. Like you never know unless you give people a chance to see something like that. And I feel like for me, Grey's Anatomy was the first, like show that I watched with my whole family where I saw a relationship like that, and I was like, "Oh, hello! Like, this is great!" Like,
on my face while I watched these scenes.
Kayla watched Grey's Anatomy, and I watched the movie Monster with Charlize Theron.
Oh, I was laughing. I'm like, oh shit!
Son of a bitch.
Everybody
watched that with your parents?
Serial killer. I mean, nothing like it. Swear to God, I was like, I'm sitting next to my mom on the couch, and we're watching this, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, what just happened? I'm like, don't stop believing's going, and I'm like, oh. Did it get hot in here?
Yeah.
Kayla and I are just.
I remember that I was sitting in front of my family. So they were like sitting on the couch, and I was like sitting in a chair on the floor, like in front of them. And I remember thinking, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around.
So they had to look at you and associate you with the image on the screen.
I could just look at the back of my head. It was all going to be
like
fine.
the back of my head is on fire right now. There was like a melted spot in the couch next to my mom where I was just like, oh.
Who hasn't been there, man?
It just happened. It's Charlize Theron, but it's not.
I have not seen this, and I'm not sure if I want to now.
It's a lot.
Don't watch it with your family, Kayla. I think that's go ahead and watch it, but not with your family.
Just go ahead and watch it, and then you're going to be so disturbed for us because you're going to be like, "Oh God, this was your representation that you saw."
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have something else now.
Yeah, I would say we've taken some significant steps. Just a little bit. Just a few steps. Yeah, just a little bit. I mean,
I've repressed that memory until just now.
On one of the live chats that we did. Did you guys ever have like a movie? Like it wasn't like there was no gay or LGBTQ representation, but did you have a movie where you were like, oh no?
You're like, I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like wheels.
You know.
What do you mean, like for you personally to be like, oh shit, I might be a little gay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or it should have been like your red flag, like in retrospect. Like
my entire childhood was a red flag, honestly. But I when I was 10 or 11, like just went hard into a Jessica Simpson phase to the point where one of my childhood bedroom walls was just tour posters. One was anytime I saw her in a magazine, I bought the magazine and I cut the picture out and put it on the wall. So it was like very murder boardy, like magazine cutouts pasted haphazardly everywhere. And then the other one was like magazine full, like page photos. I went to see her in concert. I had every CD ever. I watched all of like the Newlywed stuff. And that's when the red flag was I had a dream that I was married to her and her husband. I was like, oh,
Wow.
I wonder if you can like boys and girls. That's interesting. Maybe I should explore that. Yeah, that was mine for sure. Huge red flag. I was like, Mom, really? You didn't know? Did you see my bedroom?
I was screaming at you, really.
Yeah.
Mine
Yeah.
was, there wasn't a movie that I can remember, but, you know, Dana Scully came into my life at 13 years old, 13 or 14, right around there. And like Kayla, I also had a murder board wall of Dana Scully all the way through college. And she will be joining the ranks of Nicole Hott on the other side of my leg come September. So, you know, 7 years later, you know, still carrying that torch for Dana Scully. So
Love it.
Love that.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Bring it on. Like,
oh
yeah. Like I should have known. I watched that over and over and over again in high school. I should have known Bring It On was like, no, I just like cheerleading.
really interested in cheerleading.
But pom-poms are great, guys. Great. Like it's go Toros.
They're such talented dancers.
They are so light on their feet. Now, this movie has substance, Mom.
It's a quality film.
Like it's quality. Like I don't know why it's not winning awards.
Cinematic masterpiece.
It is. It is. Lord have mercy. The choreography alone, like and the cheer. Oh, the writing.
I was gonna say the quality of those pants. I mean, there must be some toros in the atmosphere.
Yes. You know, and the sad thing is I can recite the majority of those chairs too. So
is that a sad thing?
That sounds like a bedtime story at some point.
I can bring those back out at some point. Yeah, absolutely. But no, like, so a friend of mine was helping my mom convert all these VHS to DVDs, like probably 10, 13, 14 years ago. And she goes, I need you to see your third birthday party. And I was like, okay. And she goes, no, seriously. She puts in the DVD. She's like, your parents should have known. I said, okay. It's me, like, standing at the table, like, the cake is right there. And it was like Cabbage Patch cheerleader on there. A little Cabbage Patch stuff. And I'm literally, this is me, like, barely seeing, like, above the table. I'm like, I want the cheerleader. That's what I'm saying. I was like, no, honey, no, you don't. I'm like, no, but I want the cheerleader.
You did want the cheerleader.
I want the cheerleader.
That was foreshadowing.
That was foreshadowing, and then bring it along.
That's early.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a quality photo of me at like 3 or 4 standing there all full of attitude with my rainbow suspenders on that I believe that I've posted in the past, but
you need to recreate that now.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, I had to have all the starter jackets back in the day, like with your team on it. Like, what little girl had all the starter jackets with their teams on it?
Depending on what
one who gets the cheerleader, I guess.
Yeah, still waiting for the cheerleader. So just gonna say
you were
that.
waiting for a cheerleader to get cold, so you could be like, oh.
Here's
We're gonna be on the lookout now.
94 Miami Dolphins starter jacket.
Oh my gosh. I would kill to wear that now.
Right?
Yeah.
Now they're in style. Yeah, they're in vogue.
Yeah.
You can go on eBay and buy it for, $200.
You were just ahead of your time. That's all it was.
Clearly, so many ways. Yeah.
Is that a
Starter jackets, Monster. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Absolutely envious. What about you?
We talked about this. So, because I asked her, I was like, do you have one that you remember? And then if you could think back to one that it should have been. And the one that I always remember, I'm sure there were ones before it, but the movie that I watched like 1,000,001 times was Stick It.
Oh, yeah.
Similar.
Is that not another cheerleading movie?
Gymnastics.
Are athletes, right? I'm sorry, cheerleaders are athletes too.
Yeah, hey. Don't diss Waverly Earp like that.
I'm sorry about that. Just like shit.
Clutches
You hold
chicken.
that chicken and you think about what you said.
Just go sit in the corner and think about it. No, Stick It. I watch that movie all the time. On a loop.
Yeah.
And
Is that the one? I don't believe that I've seen it, but is that the one? What the hell is her name? The
she's
brunette
married
girl.
to the guy who played
Missy.
Chuck.
Missy Pegram.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Where she
Chuck's
got
wife.
that ice tub.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lindsay's like, I know.
That's the movie.
Yeah, I know what that. Yeah.
It's like I haven't seen it, but I know what scene you're talking about.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I know that scene. Yes.
So that's the movie where I was like, oh, okay. But when I should have known was probably when I was like 8 or 9, and I was obsessed with Sporty Spice. But she was the best of the Spice Girls.
Yeah, objectively, that's
We're
the
opening up a can of worms here.
Uh-oh.
I stand by that statement.
I second that statement.
No, I
agree. I have to agree. Yeah.
I want to. The comments are 10 seconds delayed, so I'm just waiting to see the people being like, "But this one's better."
I like loved her in her tracksuit.
I'm loving all these comments over here.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Now, what about you? What was yours?
I feel like mine was not a movie. It was probably like Buffy, which is, classic. When I should have known, probably Bend It Like Beckham. Love that movie. I can definitely quote every line from that movie and probably sing the songs to you. But yes, nothing quite as exciting. Not in the cheerleader variety, but a quality movie nonetheless.
A great movie.
Another cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah. Where's the Oscar?
Top shelf, man.
Honestly, and that one, I'm like, really, where's the top shelf all around. Anyways.
Do you have one, Jill?
Do you have one, Jill? Yeah.
No, I was super late bloomer. And I don't think I should have known. Like, I just didn't, no, it really wasn't until, after college. And I think it was Olivia Benson. It was SVU.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And that was, I think SVU was already in its 6th or 7th year, because I was
And then you immediately moved to New York City, and we're like, where is she?
Pretty much.
I am a special victim.
No.
Well, they film around here all the time. Like, they blocked off my street once, and I just sat on my fire escape and watched them do
when I first moved to New York, they were filming all 3 Law and Order, SVU, and Criminal Intent, and I'm a huge Law and Order junkie, all 3 of them. And whenever they were filming anywhere near, and because I lived in Lower Manhattan, and they filmed all the time in Lower Manhattan, I was, once a week I was off watching filming.
Awesome.
It's really cool.
Any of the 3, didn't matter which of the 3 Law and Orders were filming, I was watching it.
But then it makes you they're filming Law and Order SVU near where I live. Like, is this telling me something? Like, do I need to move? Is this a bad vibe of a neighborhood?
Right.
I was just excited because I got to see them film when Stephanie March came back for that 6-episode arc, like in season 11. I don't know, because she was already off the show by the time I moved to New York. But I saw a scene with her and Mariska Hargitay on the courthouse steps, and I was like, this is like angel saying,
I'm sending.
Now's the time.
There's a beam of sunlight that came down and illuminated.
My work here is done.
It was raining everywhere except for right on top of it. And it was shining.
One single beam,
no motion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cue the music.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She was like, I don't really have an answer, but it was this.
Well, it was so late. Also, it was just, and when you say, there should have been something, there wasn't anything I was obsessed with when I was young. It really was sort of just late in life.
Yeah.
It probably should have been my 9th grade geometry teacher. That should have been a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, teachers. Yeah.
That's just, because I was absolutely head over heels in love with my English teacher, Mr. Stringer. Oh my God, I had such a crush. I mean, everybody was like, oh my God, Jill, you rushed to English class because you want to get in the front row. Like, back off. It's getting embarrassing being a friend with you, wanting to be so close to Mr. Stringer. And I'm like, I know, but I love him. I did. I hope he's not going to ever watch this.
I will send
and I will send it to
calling
him.
YouTube one night. What is this?
That's my old friend Jill. What's she up to these days?
She used to sit so close.
Well,
Oh man, that's terrible that your friends called you out like that, though.
no,
Right?
just trying to live your life out there.
There was this one male teacher in high school that I had who I think was like a student teacher and then ended up marrying one of the girls who he student taught. So she was 18 and he was 21. But
Wow.
they
There's lots of
obviously
consent.
got married like years later.
That's
But
also
everybody, all the high school girls are like, oh, well, he's married a student before. Like, maybe I have a chance. I was like, did you not hear the married part? It still stands, I think. Oh my gosh. High school is time.
That is a time.
Yes, indeed.
I never want to go back.
I don't miss it.
Never.
No.
You're in the clear. I think you're in the clear.
Oh, good. That's my thing. I feel bad because there's a lot of fic that are like high school fics, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I really read it for a second, yeah. Not gonna happen.
Moving on.
All right, I'm gonna try and squeeze the rest of these folks in here before it hits midnight, because that's when I turn into a roast chicken. So
Or a churro.
turn into a churro at midnight.
Yeah,
Heidi,
she
you
grows
better
into
get
the giant churro.
this too. I didn't believe that I did it until I saw it, and then
It's the best thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Thank you for that, Kayla.
That was my bad. In hindsight, that was my bad.
Keep your hands on the table.
I'm not holding my hand anymore. I'm not. They're in my lap, folded nicely, not moving, because you will use it against me.
I'm keeping my mouth shut right now. I just want to know that.
I'm sure the chat has thoughts. We'll just
Hand check. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thanks for making it weird, guys. I had no doubt that you were
anytime.
Look, we're always here for that. Yeah.
It was good to see your faces, though. Now I truly believe that you're not just one person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But you did have me for a second. I was like,
for a second.
Should I take Danielle away? Should I?
No, okay, before you go, I was texting Danielle and I was like, turn on your camera so that I can come into the shot. And she was like, what, now? And I was like, yes, now.
Sorry, I didn't see your text for a
I'll
while.
play this out for another hour. It's not awkward.
Apologies.
You played it really well, Jada, though, because you didn't look to the side to be like, are you fucking coming or not? Like, you just kind of were like, yep, just me. Just
This
one.
is the coolest of us. Kayla and I would not have been able to pull it off.
Just the voices in my head. Yes.
Exactly.
Just hanging out.
Also, thank you three for being the awesome people you are. Before
Yes, you guys are amazing.
You guys are
for
amazing.
everything.
We really appreciate you. So
You
Thank
too.
you for
Thanks
thank you
hitting-
for injecting so much energy into it right now. We need that kind of energy. So
It is much.
Anything we can do to help. Yeah,
Always.
absolutely.
literally anything.
cool.
You'll even go to Twitter jail for us, so
Absolutely.
I appreciate
Hopefully,
it.
hopefully not again anytime soon.
Orange
though.
is the new
Don't
black.
worry.
That's the word on the street.
Don't drop the phone. Or do. I don't know.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Oh man, that's the lawyers. I
We
never thought I'd see their faces.
right.
Who
Not
we
a
got
problem.
left that's still hanging with us at 11:53 p.m.?
Bring them in.
Have Laura.
Laura!
Can we bring everybody in?
Yeah, let's have a
guys.
party.
Let's bring everyone in.
We'll bring everybody in the room in. We got the space.
Hey,
Other Laura.
Hey.
Hi.
our gift maker. Hey.
Hey.
I'm nope. Keeping my hands down. Keeping my hands
Keep her
down.
hands down. She's been burned enough tonight.
I'm scared to check Twitter. The only reason I saw it is because Heidi was kind enough to DM it to me. Did see that.
I just feel like all we're gonna see is churros on our timeline.
I don't hate it. I like a good churro.
Content we deserve.
Stop. Just stop. Yeah. Sure.
It's too late. My filter is so far gone. It's so far gone.
You just blame it on your vaccine. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm Pfizered out, guys. Sorry.
We're now,
Are you
I
guys
think we're
good?
entering after dark.
Yeah, once it strikes midnight, it's gonna get real weird.
Laura LCS, you look like you have small bleachers behind you.
I'm in a loft bed, so this is like the border of the loft bed, but I took the other side off.
Oh. You don't have a small stadium in your bedroom.
No, I don't. I wish.
Is anybody gonna get her for that one or no? Okay, we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide. Oh, man. Sam said I ordered churros during this. Sam, Pixar didn't happen. I want to see.
She did. No, she did. She did post a picture on Twitter.
Oh.
I need to see the churro.
I'll find it. Hold on.
I'm gonna
Sam did get a churro.
frozen ones.
You got frozen churros, just ready to go at any time.
Yes, you never know when you need a churro.
You never
know. I don't want to have to tell you.
Just keep talking. I'll just keep making kills.
That's Sam with her churro.
I love how it says
Samantha Pamela.
The sign in
how
the back is
dare
dreams
you.
come true.
I had to order a chocolate cake.
Listen.
To deliver.
God.
Oh, goodness.
Listen, that's what you get when you like the season 3 uniform. What do you want? I mean,
hey, I'm on that ship.
Season 3. I'm in that ship. So hey, Laura, LCS, how did you still processing the episode?
Yeah, I'm still processing. I've been like cried on and off every day.
That
It's
sounds
hard.
Yeah. I have like bursts of feeling good and hopeful and happy, and then bursts of the cries.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just going to exist in denial for a while longer, and then when it finally breaks out of denial, it's going to be a hot mess. So
it's gonna be angry, Lindsey.
It's gonna be angry. You're gonna go through the angry phase.
Yeah, and angry Lindsey is a force to be reckoned.
Lindsey is sometimes a sight to behold.
Angry
I had an
Lindsey's
ugly cry on Friday, so I just called a friend and just sobbed.
Yeah, it's cathartic. I'm like
It was
a person who doesn't like to cry in front of other people or like gets embarrassed about crying. So this week I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do, and it's gonna happen.
It was.
Cried on here.
I actually called my mom the next morning. I hadn't talked to her. Well, she knew the night before I was going to see the episode, and I was so livid Saturday morning. Still, I was livid, and I was like, it was ridiculous. It's like, what a stupid episode. That was just ridiculous. Like there was all happy ending. We never get happy endings. Like it was just dumb. And I said, I'm so happy that I didn't like that episode because now I'm not sad that the whole season ended. The whole thing ended. And then like an hour later, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever.
actually, that's actually my coping mechanism too, Jill. That was actually my coping mechanism. It's like, what did I dislike about this episode? This way I won't be sad about what happened in the episode. But it's very hard to find what you dislike about the episode. But I tried.
Oh, I hated the episode. The first time I didn't have things I didn't like. I did not like it the first time.
But it was
anger. Because it was just because I was too overwhelmed with anger. In hindsight, I like it a lot more. But
I threw every device I own, I think, on the floor during the episode. Like my laptop was flipped off the table. It was a time that we had. But now I watch it and I just like smile and cry. So we've made progress. I'm not at the laptop flipping stage anymore.
we all had champagne. And at one point, Kayla, she had a glass of champagne and it was full. I don't know, it's like right in the middle of one scene. She turns around and slams the glass, not slams, but she put the glass of champagne on the table and picked out the bottle of champagne that was next to her and just started drinking the bottle. Like, oh, we are having a night here.
And then when I saw the closing scene when Nicole comes out onto the porch with the bottle, I grabbed it again because I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. She's doing it. I can do it. And then I saw the scene unfold before my eyes, and I just slowly kind of like clutched the bottle to my chest, and that's how I finished out the episode, was just holding
with the bottle.
I
Like,
watched the
normally-
entire episode like this, so no one could see me cry. I think
like after seeing an episode, I normally watch immediately afterwards, and I make my clips so I can make my GIFs. And like I just couldn't do it at all. Like that's why I started making them today, was because I just needed a full week to just sit in it and process
and you attacked
it.
us today all at once.
And yeah, sorry. My bad. But like the first gift that I did make on, I think it was that night, like the only one I could do was the one where Waverly was just swearing off the porch.
Yes.
I was like, I need something funny. I need
That's
to just like laugh. And then I did Charlotte's
think that's what everyone was waiting for from you. Everyone was waiting to see how Heidi would do that one.
The clean version is now available if you search it, by the way.
Oh yeah. Twitter doesn't like the swear words.
Twitter doesn't like a lot of things, you guys. You would be shocked.
Unreal.
Arousal architect?
No, really?
That's a no for me, dog. Yeah, Twitter doesn't like it.
Can they tell it in GIF? They can tell what it says?
That's what I think is so fascinating. So, like, I knew that maybe that wouldn't be a tag that would get, the Twitter people excited. So I didn't even use it. But it's still...
No, arousal architect seems like something they might get excited about.
Well, yeah, somebody was getting excited. Universally so. But yeah, it flagged that one, so that's not searchable. I mean, some of the obvious ones are swear words.
Yeah.
Anything that has to that shows like a weapon. A lot
Heidi,
of
you have to start.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say you have to like tag them with code names, and like only Erpers know the code names to search.
Well, I tried to be very careful of how I tag them now, just because I don't want, I want them to be
So any
searchable.
like sexy moments, you just subtitle it like brunch, or
Yes.
things like that.
Well, I did not make any stairs gifts.
Yeah, there's some things that,
somebody's already made them, so we don't need to deal with that.
But plus, what kind of like crazy animated text would you have on the stair scenes? Don't answer that, everyone.
Oh, I thought the Batman, pow! Bang!
Oh, yeah, it's midnight, right on cue, Jill, right on cue.
Yep.
Bang. Could be
Oh my gosh. Put it in a folder marked tax stuff.
I do actually have them saved in a folder called tax stuff, just because I think that's funny. But that's I only think it's funny. I'm the only one going into my folders going, hee hee. Oh, sorry.
Well, we definitely all appreciate you making those. Those are like the only ones I see people use anymore, because that like something about having the text animated and coming in like that just makes it so much more fun. I love it.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad. Part of why I wanted to quick pop on and say hi is I'm really moved by people and how they're, using them. And I do them because it makes me laugh a little bit and gives me joy, but it means the world to me that you guys are using them. So
yeah,
everybody loves them.
If anybody sees them on Twitter with the big bold yellow letters, go give Heidi a shout out and say thank you, because they are wonderful. And I feel like in the Twitter library, I don't really see a lot of season 4 ones that aren't yours. And maybe that's just because yours are superior, but there's not as many. There's obviously season 1 and 2 has been around for a while. Like you can search for those, but we need
I
that.
started making them. I started doing a rewatch, and that's how I started making them back when all of this started, the COVID situation.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find one that I wanted to use. So I said, well, I'm just going to learn how to make it. And then I made this really awful one of Patrick Swayze saying, nobody puts Waverly in the garden. And it was awful. It was super embarrassing. I posted it on my feed just so people could say, this is how it began. It's so bad. But then I started doing a rewatch, and now I'm stuck on episode 202. Like, the Redmonds people are way farther along on their podcast. I'm like way behind. I was trying to keep up with them.
Yeah.
But once the new season dropped, I just stopped with the rewatch, and
we need the new stuff.
Yeah.
Sam said, I remember that one. Oh, that's amazing. And I also appreciate your churro content tonight. It's been
it's not searchable yet.
It's not searchable yet. That shouldn't be searchable. Surely.
We need your consent, or I need your consent.
Make it searchable if you want. If you're waiting on me to say that's fine, I think that's fine. I don't think Twitter will think it's fine, but they don't. Well, churro never hurt anybody, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
Say something bad, but I'm gonna keep it inside.
I'm done, you guys. I'm done.
We've got enough office effort. Oh, goodness.
Oh, God. All right. Let's wrap this thing up. This was really fun. I would like to do this again. I don't know if committing to every week right now is something I'm comfortable with, but this was really fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Guys. Thank you for all the laughs, everyone.
Can I just say something? And I don't want to end this on a downer. I was thinking, during the week, I had thought about when we won the first fight for Winona, way back when, and I was like, you know what? These new people that just came in and they're in this fight, they need to feel that. They need to have that feeling for winning this go around. And so I just was overwhelmed with this sense of like, we have to win this go around, because the new people, they have to have the feeling that we got that July 1st day in 2019, I can't even remember those dates. 2019, that's what it was. It's like, because I've been, you guys said this way earlier, but it's kind of one of those things where it was like, it ended well. It ended as, as it did, which was a good way to end on, but we still need like more. We still want more. And so that's just I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And something I keep thinking about is our track record's pretty damn good. Like, I think that the reason that some of the articles have come out about this, like, everybody's trying to save their show. Sanditon's trying to save their show. Shadowhunters are still going at it, trying to save their show. The difference is that we fought and won every single time. I'm fine. And other people don't have that. They don't know what it feels like to fight for something and actually get it. And I just think that's so important. And I think that's part of one of the themes with Winona, is like fight for your shit, obviously. But I don't know. I really like that sentiment of, they deserve to have that feeling too, because it's crazy.
Yeah. And you know me, I'm not the sentimental type of person, but it hit me really like this week. My sister was over here. She just did she binged the show, and she caught up to watch season 4 and everything like that. Similar to how your brother is doing it, Kayla. And she kind of finally gets it, like why we're so like in this fight. And yeah, it was just one of those things where I was just like, yeah, but you don't understand. We fought for it before. And so we're fighting again. And like all these new people, yourself included, like came in, and it's really like they need the win too. They need to have that feeling of winning and winning this thing that they fought for, because it really is like an overwhelming feeling to have, to be able to, fight and win for something.
Yeah. And I think too, something that joins people together who watch this show is, for whatever reason, maybe they feel like they're not heard in their own lives, or they're marginalized for some reason. And so to show them that you can fight for something and be seen and win I think that's huge for people to feel like that, who maybe don't feel like that in their lives every day. I think that's a huge reason of why I still want to keep fighting and keep. It's worth fighting for that feeling, but it's worth fighting for that feeling, like you said, for other people too, who need that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's what we say. It's always more than a show. It's so many things, but I could go on about that.
No, absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
I think that's a
Anyway.
perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And boobs.
Thank you guys for doing this.
And also boobs.
Sure. And also boobs.
And boobs, yes.
I can't leave us the sentimental thing. That can't happen.
Yeah, you gotta make it funny. You gotta make it funny. All right, thanks for joining us on here, guys. It was good to get all of you on and hear what your thoughts are, and we appreciate you.
Talk to you guys in the
No problem.
Twitterverse.
Yep.
Well, I'm just gonna take everybody out, and then we can say bye too. But I want to say bye to you guys too, Jill and Lindsey. Yeah, this was great. I think we need to process and break everything down and laugh and cry and
the laughter is what I needed today. I didn't know that's what I needed, but that's what I needed.
No, I feel like my cheeks hurt from just like smiling for the past 2 hours.
My abs are gonna be sore tomorrow from laughing so hard. It's my ab workout.
Yeah, Waverly Earth
Hang for
secret.
3 hours. I'm good.
All right. Thanks, guys. It was good to spend Friday night with everyone again.
Yes, it was.
I'll talk to you guys.
All right. Good night.
See you guys in the Twitter sphere.